Slept. I made sure that I found a way through a cloud of haze. Every day I wept, found how to live through all them cloudy days. You know the mind's a maze with all its mixtures. It's always hard to get the entire scope of the picture. 1080p, that's you other busters, yeah, obsolete. Can't fuck with me, excuse my French, but I'm not discreet. I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I've learned my lesson. I've learned 1996 birth, one of the greatest weapons untold. I'm destined to reach heights thought I could never see before. Rampage my heart and let me not reach the peaks that's entrusted to me. My belief shatter of past actions. I grieve, but grievance never really matter. It's how I choose to act differently in the coming battles to overcome my limitations and get out my shadow. But it's hard to wade in this water where it was never shallow. Fuck it, let me get the paddles. Fuck that now, let me get this castle. Fuck that now, let me get this battle.
What it do? What's good, everybody? It's Sage and Squad Nero podcast back up in this thing. You know we got now, aka Croco's Corner, Chef D and T Smooth, your guys through the vast realms of creativity, epic adventures, and heartfelt stories that anime, animation, and gaming have to offer. Join us each week as we dive deep into the latest releases, explore hidden gems, and discuss the hottest topics in the Blur community. Get ready for a journey filled with laughter, tears, and the unbridled passion that makes anime a truly unique art form. Without further ado, let the anime odyssey begin. What it do, y'all? We back up in the thing. It was episode 70 now. 30 away from the big triple digits, you feel me? So, very excited. We've been staying consistent with this thing. Always enjoy that. Always enjoy breaking bread with my brethren on the topics that we enjoy, especially when it comes to this anime, gaming, and comic stuff. So we back up in this thing. How everybody doing?
Man, I'm good.
Good.
I ain't got no complaints. I'm tired. It's a little warm.
Yeah, it's hot as hell.
So I'm doing well. It's 90 degrees outside. My car was saying 108. I had a long day at work. I got another 4 days. Got to travel back to Buff.
Okay.
I am not looking forward to double trips, but I got to do what I got to do. And it's good to see our boy successfully back from surgery. Just let the world know what's going on, Rob. You recovered.
Nigga, stop outlining the world of my goddamn health shit.
No, I'm just saying, like you Superman out here. I didn't say anything else.
Watch
I'm just saying you recovered.
This be the first video we get 100,000 views on.
I'm just saying, see, I could push it, but I'm not. I'm just saying I'm glad that he's feeling better because
you already pushed it. D, how your day? How you doing? How you feeling?
No. D, let me finish. No, because I'm saying I could have pushed it like I did earlier this week, as you know, but that's between me and you. Pause.
Y'all, this nigga's a part of the Players Alliance, and then he got a Switch too. Wasted his money and got a Switch too. Since we outlined the nigga shits, let's outline it. Let's unpack it.
You want to unpack it? Okay, people. This man Sage went to a Diddy.
He gonna have a Diddy joke? Of course he gonna have a Diddy joke. This nigga has been months removed since this nigga Diddy been taken off the streets, and he's been single-handedly feeding this nigga Diddy to everybody. Pause. Unpause. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. We want this nigga Diddy out of the airwaves, and T keeps bringing him back. Ask him why.
Not really. DJ still play his music every now and then, and I'm surprised.
Who?
Actually, when I went to the Lupe concert this past week, which dope experience. Lupe still got it, as always. He ain't gonna ever lose it.
So you was listening to Diddy out in public around a whole bunch of people partying?
No. What happened was the DJ that went on before Lupe, they were playing the song I Don't Know What, and they ended up playing Diddy's part first.
Sounds like excuses.
That's not excuse because I didn't physically play it. The DJ played it.
It's a lot of
You listen to it.
music
You two-step to that hoe.
I actually didn't
To P.
two-step to
Diddy.
it because I was like looking at my homeboy like, why are they doing this? And homeboy pretty much like, yo, I'm sorry for playing Diddy part. I just wanted to get the biggies. Bruh, you could have skipped to it. Come on, man. You could have easily skipped to it.
D, how you feeling, brother?
I'm chilling, man.
That's
I've
good.
been
That's good to
good.
hear. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. All right, y'all. Episode 70. We got a couple pressing topics. I ain't gonna lie. Not too many anime for today, so sadly enough. If you do have some anime topics for us to tap into, please put them down in that comment section for us. Also, if you're coming from the YouTube side, super smash that subscribe button and that like button and that noti bell so that you're keeping up to date with all of our new content that we are dropping.
And Race, there is anime news, so be on the lookout. In the next week or two, we do have a full lineup of summer anime that is hitting. Dan Dan, Sakamoto Days, Kaiju number 8 comes back. So this whole summer is going to be a heavy hitter. So new episodes, and we're going to have a lot coming to you guys from our reviews of each episode each week.
All right. So this podcast, we're gonna be tapping in more to some news that we got from DC as well as Marvel. I know y'all probably tired of it, but at right now, they're in the big seat right now. They got a lot of shit riding on this summer. They got Fantastic Four from Marvel. You have Superman from DC. And how these movies interact with each other really is going to spell the future for both of these companies. So let's get on to it. The most pressing of matters that has just recently came out is Sony is interested in possibly acquiring WB/DC. Since Warner Bros. Controls DC, they'll basically be getting the license or the rights to be able to create live action movies if they did acquire Warner Brothers, probably even the animation and even the games as well, such as Injustice 3 and all of that jazz.
We will finally get a good Mortal Kombat because Mortal Kombat 1 was trash. Please give us something good, Sony. Let Insomniac build it. Please.
So, yep, we got a video and that we can play, and that will talk about all of the what would happen since Sony also owns Spider-Man. It would shake some shit up. So let's watch this video.
Right now with 3 different. So something major might be brewing right now with 3 different studios: Marvel Studios, Warner Brothers Discovery, and Sony, bringing 3 different universes together in a kind of interesting way. Now, I wouldn't exactly call it a great situation because Sony is involved. However, it could lead to Marvel Studios possibly getting the rights to Spider-Man back. But it also could lead down another path that might not be too good for superhero fans overall. And you might have already heard some news about what we're talking about today, and that is Sony might buy part of Warner Brothers Discovery. Here's what recently happened. Earlier this month, Warner Brothers Discovery announced that it would split itself into 2 different entities by mid-2026. The first one, WBD Global Networks, will remain focused on the company's traditional cable programming with sports and news and entertainment. Then the other one, the second entity, WBD Streaming and Studios, will spin off with HBO, the TV series and movie production, as well as the gaming division of Warner Brothers Discovery. And with this happening, many analysts have identified the possible motive behind this decision that Warner Brothers is making. And that is the potential sale of Warner Brothers Discovery, Streaming and Studios. And now we've been hearing some rumors and reports that Sony is possibly already considering purchasing Warner Brothers Discovery, Streaming and Studios. But here's the kicker. If Sony would buy Warner Brothers Discovery, based on what we know, that would go against their contract for Spider-Man. And again, based on what we know, that should mean the rights to Spider-Man would go back to Marvel Studios. And according to a couple of different websites, one is WCCF Tech, Sony is rumored to be considering this acquisition. And to be honest, there are probably a lot of different companies out there thinking about buying Warner Brothers streaming and gaming. Think about it. You would get DC, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Mortal Kombat, not only shows and movies, but gaming as well. And I'm sure some people are wondering if Disney could possibly be considering buying them, but I think they own too much already and probably wouldn't be allowed to buy them, but you never know. But here's where Marvel and Spider-Man and DC fans and really just superhero fans in general kind of get backed into a corner with what could possibly happen if Sony were to buy Warner Brothers. According to some reports from analysts, if Sony does buy WB and DC, they will have to give up the rights to Spider-Man because they legally cannot own their own comic book company and a rival company's IP. This is where we kind of get into trouble. Actually, if you're a Marvel fan and only a Marvel fan, you don't like DC or anything else, it's actually not entirely troublesome. If these reports are true, if Sony were to buy WB Streaming and Gaming and they would lose the rights to Spider-Man and they would go back to Marvel, that is incredibly great news. The only downside to that would be Sony would own DC, which again, if you're only a Marvel fan, that's not really that big of a deal for you. But if you're a superhero fan in general and a DC fan, that sucks because Sony really doesn't have a great track record with making superhero movies. And even if you're just a Marvel fan, Marvel does need DC to put out good movies because if they put out nothing but bad movies, that's only going to contribute to what everybody calls superhero fatigue. Really what it is bad movie fatigue, but there are people out there who kind of just group all superhero movies together. They don't really see a division between Marvel and DC and anything else. It's just a superhero movie to them. So if Sony owns DC and they start making movies like Madam Web, Kraven the Hunter, Morbius, but doing that for characters like Superman and Batman, well, that's not good for the superhero genre overall, and people will not only lose interest in DC, but also Marvel as well. And of course, if you're a DC fan, this kind of just sucks, especially after James Gunn now has something really good going for him at DC Studios. At least that's what it seems like. Now, there is always the chance that if Sony did buy WB Streaming and Gaming, they could be smart and let DC Studios basically remain the same and let James Gunn and Peter Safran run it. But Sony hasn't typically been smart when it comes to superhero, well, really kind of just anything superhero except for the Into the Spider-Verse movies. But focusing on the good, Marvel would get the rights to Spider-Man back, which means they could do whatever they wanted to. And it doesn't just mean Spider-Man, but it means all Spider-Man related characters as well, including Kingpin. Recently, Kingpin actor Vincent D'Onofrio said that he believed his character Kingpin couldn't appear in the MCU films because of a rights issue with Sony. So not only could we have Spider-Man in the MCU in a non-restricted form, Marvel Studios could literally do whatever they want with Spider-Man without having to ask for permission from Sony, but other characters like Kingpin, Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man 2099, the Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, Venom, all of these characters could be used by Marvel freely. And what's really interesting is that there's enough time for Sony to buy Warner Brothers Discovery Streaming and Gaming so that Marvel could actually get the rights to Spider-Man back before we start the new saga of the MCU, which we believe is going to be an entirely new universe. And this would actually be an incredible thing for Marvel Studios. And it would actually mean that Marvel would probably have to somewhat change their plans that they already have for the next part of the MCU. And Marvel definitely already has those plans down, rest assured. In fact, we just heard that Marvel Studios has 4 release date slates already planned for 2028. They are already planning the first 5 years of the next saga. And we've been hearing a lot about the next saga recently. We've heard that there are going to be 3 main focuses in the next saga. There's going to be a cosmic side, there's going to be a supernatural side, and there's some big rumors that Mephisto's coming, and he'll be a big bad of that supernatural side, and we'll get the Midnight Suns with that as well. And recently, Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus stated that the next MCU saga is being described as very demonic and something out of a Guillermo del Toro fever dream, which no doubt is going to be a part of the supernatural side of the MCU. But then, of course, the third side is the mutant side. The X-Men are finally in the MCU. But imagine if Marvel had the rights to all of the Spider-Man characters. Marvel would basically have every single thing that they needed at that point in time. It's obviously a huge win that Disney acquired Fox, and they got the rights to the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. Now they can build the universe that they've always dreamed of building, except there still is kind of a hindrance there with Spider-Man and the Spider-Man characters because of the rights with Sony. So they can't necessarily do everything that they want to do, but they could if they had the rights to Spider-Man and all the characters. If that happened, the only thing they'd really be missing is the solo movie rights to the Hulk, which we've heard a lot of rumors over time that Marvel might have actually gotten the rights to a solo Hulk movie back from Universal, but that is unconfirmed at this point in time. But regardless, Marvel Studios can pretty much do what they want to do with the Hulk in other movies. Thor Ragnarok is the perfect example, and speaking of Spider-Man, in Spider-Man Brand New Day, we might get the Hulk. In fact, that's really what it seems like, considering the report that said we're getting the Hulk said that we're getting the Punisher, and the Punisher just got confirmed to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So this really would be a great situation for Marvel Studios. Unfortunately, it probably wouldn't be too good for DC, and I think they got a really good thing going right now, and I really wouldn't want to see them be owned by Sony. Now, again, Sony could be smart, and they could simply let DC Studios be and let James Gunn and Peter Safran continue to run it, make great movies, and make them a lot of money. That would be the best case scenario. But would Sony actually let them do that? Who knows? There are great things that Sony could do gaming wise. So if you're a big gamer, that could be a pretty big positive. But overall, it could be good, it could be bad, and Marvel could get the rights back to Spider-Man. Will Sony actually do it? We're going to have to wait and see about that one. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you like some of it? Let us know.
All right. Shout out to, I can't remember what YouTube that is. What YouTube channel that is. Shout out to the Cosmic Wonder. Great stuff that they're doing over there. So if you need to stay up to date with all of your rights and all of that jazz with Marvel, DC, so on and so forth, Cosmic Wonder is good for you. How do y'all feel about this? Just blanket. Let's factor in all of the different things that could happen wrong, factor in all the things that could happen good. Would y'all want Sony to go ahead with this? Just blanket yes or no?
I'm on the fence. Because Marvel will be able to do whatever they want to do with Spider-Man. At the same time, for the video game division for Sony with Spider-Man, will Insomniac come over to Disney to be able to produce another Spider-Man game? Because at that point, they can bring that. Though. How's it different?
Because Spider-Man, I think Sony, you could probably still work out something with Sony since they are a gaming-based company, where they can still create that stuff. Just like I was thinking with the animated as well. Hey, Into the Spider-Verse is already making us lucrative money. There's no point to shake up the shit now and then pass that over to Disney in hopes that Disney would be able to recreate something that Sony has already been knocking out the park. So it could be certain things that and it all depends on when if Sony, and when they acquire the rights to WB. If they acquire it before Into the Spider-Verse before Into the Spider-Verse, before Spider-Man 3, before what's the other shit that you were saying? Oh yeah, Spider-Man 3 the game. It could probably mess up a lot of things, or they would just need very particular terminology within their shit. Hey, y'all can release this last game, y'all can release this fucking last animated movie, but after that, that's it. You just have to be super particular in the agreement. I think they could find a way though.
And my thing is this, I'll be okay with it. Let James Gunn still play around with the DC movies so Sony don't have to touch it. Let it rock. Let it be like a subsidiary of Sony where this is the movie division. James Gunn, you hold it down. He did well with the Suicide Squad movie, but I'm far away from the daggone fence from the daggone Superman movie. I'm not watching that. But he got potential to try and do something good for anything going forward. Potential, because he did do well with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Scooby-Doo was fire back in the day.
All right, Croco, what about you?
That was
This
sarcasm.
nigga brought up Scooby.
That was sarcasm.
I know.
It's tough. I guess gut answers. I'm with D. No,
Mm-hmm.
but I do see a lot of positive as well.
Yeah.
I know, but I see a lot of positive that. But both studios suck. Both studios suck. Like that's the part that make it so difficult. Because as an example, if Sony took over DC, right, the games would be fire.
Mm-hmm.
I feel confident that they would be like Batman under Insomniac. Just
Superman,
think of Superman under
game.
No. Rocksteady needs to give us another Batman game. I don't want Insomniac touching that. Rocksteady has been producing with these Arkham games. Let Rocksteady still hold that, please.
I would be curious to see how it went through Insomniac.
I'm super curious.
I would be curious. Same thing with Superman. After seeing how well they did with Spider-Man, I would be curious what metrics and such they would want to use towards like the physics. And they care about physics. Like they Insomniac be going in. So I wouldn't be mad if they put that same level of detail for Batman, Superman.
But Batman already had that. But Batman already had that level of detail.
See, I'm gonna be all right. And then all right, let me just go over to T's point then, because the point that I was going to bring up to T is the exact same point, or the point that T brought up actually earlier, and is now kind of making me think about again when he was talking about what exactly would happen to the Spider-Man franchise. Insomniac not going to do nothing with the Spider-Man franchise if Sony don't got the rights of it anymore. It'd be a whole new studio. It wouldn't be the same studio that's been doing it in association with Sony. It just wouldn't happen. They too that's the thing about it. They too competitive. It's for whatever reason competition wins out. So with the changes, you would have to think about exactly what content you would like to see out of it. So the positives that I would see with Sony is I do believe the games would be solid. The films, okay. What's the last Sony movie you remember?
All right. So like I was saying before, even if, because I think this is just talking about the movie rights. It's not talking about the game rights. The game rights are separate from the film rights. So Sony would still have access to the gaming rights for Spider-Man. And
okay.
Yeah, so Insomniac, it wouldn't be. The only thing that would be messed up, I'm guessing, is the Into the Spider-Verse series, that last one.
I'm leaning more towards I'm okay. That's a more positive in regards to why this would make sense for Sony, because if you could keep the game rights to Spider-Man plus be able to introduce DC games, that in and of itself,
it's actually Marvel Games who has the Spider-Man gaming rights. So Marvel is already working hand in hand with Insomniac.
Okay,
and I'm guessing because they have, already have that relationship with Sony.
It's just Sony.
It's been an exclusive.
It's got some positive. I'm not gonna lie to you, it does have some positives to it. But again, and the question that I just brought up, what was the last good Sony movie, like memorable movie that was done through Sony?
Now, are you saying without no?
I mean, like good.
Into the Spider-Verse,
like good. All right, not animated.
Not animated.
Like live action shit.
Live action.
Nigga, you got me there.
Hold on.
I tried, even when y'all was talking, I was trying to look up movies. I'm like, it's gotta be one.
Shit, The Amazing Spider-Man.
That was a good one.
Been a decade since the niggas really did something that we was like, yo, I'm looking forward to it, because it's like Sony for comic book movies, all they had was really Spider-Man. We ain't counting Venom, and that's why I say I'm on the fence about it, because I'm like,
and that's Jumanji.
If they buy DC, I'd be like, all right, cool. Like, because I'm not really a fan of James Gunn, but it's like, who would they bring in to take over? And the way they handle this Spider-Man situation, as petty as it's been over the years, I mean, I'm not gonna say Marvel couldn't have been petty with them, to begin with, but it's like, if they have full reign of all of DC, what are they going to be doing? Look, you see how Craven, how Morbius, how Venom, and all these movies turned out. It's like, yo, y'all get y'all hand on the whole DC slate. It's no telling what y'all gonna put out. Because y'all have put out, and hell, Madam Web,
Right.
yeah.
y'all have put out in the past 3 to 4 years. Y'all have put out straight 0 out of 10 films.
Sony has had
It's
one
not
good.
even
outside. It's
Now-
not just Marvel or comic book
But,
movies.
but my thing is this: are we talking Sony overall? The last
Yes.
good movie, Book of Clarence.
No, we talking about
How long-
I thought you meant comic book.
No, I just meant period.
Book of Clarence.
Like, when did that come out?
Was that the
2020
shit
last
with
year.
fucking the weird black
that was
dude?
Lakeith Stanfield, right?
Yes.
No, hold on.
That movie
hold
was
on.
fire.
I know we not talking about the same one.
The one where he was supposed
This
to
is
be
the
like
shit
Jesus.
where Jesus. Get this shit. Hell no.
That movie was good.
Hell no. Hell no. Nigga going, hey, all right. Nigga said that shit was
Universally-
good.
Hold up. Book of Clarence. IMDb.
Look it up.
Universally, like
Hey, you gonna
what
see
was
that
the
IMDb
last-
score, and that shit gonna be abysmal, nigga. 5.6 out of 10.
What
Rotten Tomatoes
Universally.
gave it 66%. 80%
Universally.
popcorn meter.
universally like movie from Sony?
Oh,
Because
28 days later.
That
Sony
joint just
film.
came out.
Yep,
the
87%.
one that just came out,
87%.
I was about to ask.
28 years
Did
later,
y'all-
my bad.
did anybody go see it?
I haven't seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I heard there was some weird shit going up in
I'm
there.
going to see it this weekend.
I might have to go see it tomorrow.
So like,
89%. So
it is pretty good. I'm curious.
okay, so possibly 28 days later.
Mhm.
Like that's it, and then Book of Clearance.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I never even saw it. I heard about it, but I thought it came and went. I never saw Book of Clearance. I don't know. And it sounds like just between the argument between both of y'all that it's kind of a 50-50 toss up. Some people like it, some people don't. So like as bad as HBO as bad as Warner Brothers is with DC movies, they can make better DC movies than Sony can.
Fact.
There's a very good chance that would be the case. So if you say, okay, well, they both bad at making movies, but DC not making any games, and DC has stopped, or Warner Brothers has stopped for whatever reason, really putting out the quality animated. Not to say that they like fell off. I'm not trying to insinuate that, but it's not like it. They whatever was the schedule for that, it came, went, ended, and now we haven't really gotten a structure like we have in the past with DC's animated films. So if they were to be done with animation on a larger level, or at least it's significantly reduced, we don't got animation either with Warner Brothers right now. So if those things all went over to Sony, you still wouldn't get live action films, but you would get video games, and you could as well, more than likely. Like I would be willing to bet on it, really good animation. Would that be enough of a trade-off though? If Warner Brothers is already producing movies that's terrible, that you find with the live action part remaining terrible, if it were to go over to Sony, in the exchange for that is quality games, quality animation.
Mhm.
That's why I said no, because I think ultimately what we need is better live action movies, but there is some positives. Those positives being, if they went over there, you gonna get a pickup in both animation, and you gonna get a pickup in gaming.
You talking about pick up an animation for DC?
Yeah, with Sony's great at animation.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great at animation, but what we got so far from DC in animation has been great, though.
It's been great. It's been great.
Yeah,
It's been great.
But Sony could take it up that next.
They can make the we talking now.
Wait,
just to give you the
animation
example,
wise,
I
what has
mean,
Sony put out though for
Well,
animation?
Listen, Into the Spider-Verse has basically.
But besides,
No.
Spider-Man
But
and stuff like that.
we can't say besides that, because Into the Spider-Verse has basically influenced the whole industry. it basically reset the whole animation movie industry because
No,
they
but
was
I'm
doing
saying, but
things and
no,
that
we
shit.
can't say
He's just
besides that
saying.
because I'm saying besides that, what are we going off of to say that Sony will do
I
well with
feel like
DC animation? Because
feel like
we have seen shit. Justice League animation been going on since what 2013, and we've been getting all these different animation movies. Besides Into the Spider-Verse, what have we seen from Sony else that we're confident in? Like, yeah, if they buy DC, we know they're in good hands. Like besides that
it's
movie,
different styles, but like they did have Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. They did have Hotel Transylvania. They did do that Smurfs movie in terms of things that
knock it
again
off.
is
This nigga
it's.
said Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Knock
I'm
it
not
off.
saying things. I'm not
It
saying
was
things
good.
that
It
you
was
want to
lucrative.
look. I'm not
Yo.
listen. I'm not saying things that you want to see in animation.
But I'm saying,
I'm just saying
if we
things
staying on
with
this topic, because we saying like when we was like, yo, what movies have come out with Sony, and T was like Book of Clarence, but we was trying to get something more specific. I'm saying like when you see shit like Legendary Films doing films like Dune or Godzilla, and all these other companies doing movies that people going to see, if they take over DC, and we saying that they handling animation, they handling live action. We seen Sony. We don't trust them with live action from all this Spider-Man shit, and everything else. Comic book wise, they really haven't put out anything solid.
comic book
Since
wise,
they had
no.
Spider-Man. But then it's
Correct.
like you look
So-
at animation. Rob says Into the Spider-Verse, but it's
So,
like, yo, like that's one thing we going off of.
Okay.
Comic book wise, yes. I wouldn't want to be okay. Let me clarify too. I wouldn't want to see DC lose animation, but I know that if it were to be a part of this, you and I think the big distinctive difference would be Sony. It's not that that Sony would make a better animation film than DC has or could, but that they're gonna do more for the animation than I think DC has at this point. And so what I mean as an example of that is the idea of DC has done a lot of direct to DVD or direct to streaming animation films. I think that's if Sony had it, those same direct to streaming, direct to DVD films that you saw with DC, Sony would say, no, we see value in that being a feature film. So it may not be the actual, and because I do think you make a great point. DC's done great with animation, and they have a huge array of animation underneath their belt. That, yeah, it's hard to say why would they be better at, like, why would the animation get better at Sony? I do agree with you. I don't think that there's a really too much of an arguable point there, but I do think that Sony is willing to go further with animation. And that would be a plus to me because think about it, just like what we were talking about last episode. If you were to take if Sony were to have the rights to DC and say, I want to take the Absolute Universe and I want to make feature animation films from the Absolute Universe, I would be excited to see that. Like that I don't think that I would get that with Warner Brothers and DC now. I just don't think I don't see that. I don't see them doing a feature film animated right now.
I think the reason why I say you can't bypass Into the Spider-Verse is because the impact that it had over the entire animation industry and the standards that they follow was so massive that off that premise alone, one, they did it with the first movie, and then they doubled down on it with the second movie, but also explored new avenues, blended 2D and 3D animations even more, found different ways to make all the animations pop even more than the first film. It shows to me they have the propensity to be able to understand the animation realm and also evolve within the animation realm. It was so massive that you can't bypass that.
Yeah, I don't
Even though it's
disagree with
one
him
thing,
on that.
you cannot bypass that. It
I
had
just
too much
bypassed it, though.
influence.
I don't
can't-
think
I'm saying we going by if they get animation, they would keep Spider-Man for animation, or would they have to give it to Marvel?
It all
They have to
depends
give
on
that
the.
to
It all
Marvel,
depends
right?
on
So
the
they give that
rights.
to Marvel. Would you want Sony, since we can't bypass that? Would you want Sony to keep Marvel, to keep Spider-Man based off how good Into the Spider-Verse was?
Not Spider-Man live action. Live action.
But I'm
and
saying, isn't
animation-
that tied into the live action though? If they do in 2D and 3D, because wasn't they saying like that still can tie into the MCU?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying if it's really that good that we can't bypass, we might as well let Sony keep it. Because if they, god damn, this shit blurry.
Live action and animated Spider-Man rights are not the same. Sony owns the film rights and the animation, so they could work out a deal where Marvel gets the live action rights, Sony keeps the animated Spider-Man rights.
The more you say this, the more it sounds like a sweet deal.
But they would have been did that. Like,
they didn't want to do that because if they did that, then Spider-Man wouldn't be able to create that that Madam Web film, that fucking Kraven the Hunter film, that fucking all
hold on.
Yeah,
I got a question.
Wait, see, y'all saying if they had to work out a deal where they can do live action Spider-Man, and then they keep the animated shit, they would have been did that. They're like, yo, we see the success from this. We don't need to rely on that. Or
no,
like, hey,
it's greed.
They won't do that because their live action Spider-Man is making them too much fucking money. No Way Home brought them a billy.
Even
alone.
Even that though. So if they get to keep all of this, I don't see them even going to get DC or. I feel like they made too much of an investment in James Gunn in this.
Whoa. Let's hold on now. Spider-Man singularly by itself will never be as lucrative as the entire DC line of superheroes. It might not even be more lucrative than Superman.
I don't see Warner Bros being like, yeah, we'll give up all of this shit because what does Warner Bros
for the money?
For DC, I don't think so. Hell
for the money, yes, they will.
Well, how much money we talking about?
Yo, it's a lot of money.
Here's
the
thing.
The thing is, we're not even just talking DC though. We also talking Harry Potter franchise.
Yo.
We talking a Mortal Kombat franchise.
Yo.
That's a lot.
Was it only DC or was it all of that in there?
It's all of that in there because Warner Bros owns that.
What is the price tag you put on that?
It's a couple billion.
Here's the thing. If the Buzz family can up and sell the Lakers for 10 billion,
you got a point.
I'm just saying, Sony is one. If the price is right, they'll give us Spider-Man.
Because when you think about it, their ROI. If they just be like, let's get these rights, let's let James Gunn. Let's hope that James Gunn is gonna do it. I think James Gunn could potentially do some shit. I'm teetering. I'm 50-50 on this shit. Let's say James Gunn does knock it out the park. They're probably getting, depending on the IP that they start to release first, depending on the IP James Gunn is looking for, they could easily start creating a Billy each film if they do everything correctly. Superman, a Billy. I'm sorry, Spider-Man made a Billy by itself. I wouldn't be surprised if Superman made it.
But look at it now. Do you feel we got how many weeks till Superman drops? Do you feel this Superman film is gonna bring in a Billy?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So is that really is Sony looking at this like they want this to flop so that price tag could be lower?
Probably.
Because on top of that, actually, back to the side note from earlier, Rob, what'd you think of the movie Baby Driver?
I thought Baby Driver was pretty good. That's a Sony creative film?
Yes. 92%. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
was pretty good.
My thing is, depending on the subject matter, Sony can put out good movies. Superhero ones,
we just don't have it.
If they get some help, though, I mean, if James Gunn, it behooves them if James Gunn knocks it out the park.
They need to keep it separate. Keep it separate. Let James Gunn do it. Let it be a subsidiary. So instead of it being like DC superheroes, or they'll still keep it DC superheroes, but they'll call it something else to make it a subsidiary of Sony so that they keep it separate. Yeah, they'll keep the checks and balances in place. Like James Gunn's, they're not going to let him go off the rails and just spend all this kind of money to make this kind of content, but keep it there. They can make their bread, but keep it over there so that they can do their thing with Mortal Kombat. They can do their thing with DC. And Sony they won't muck it up. They'll let them handle it. And if it's crappy, bring somebody new in to handle that division.
Probably Amy Pascal, or probably just like she is for Spider-Man and all of she's the chairwoman of the motion picture group set of Sony Pictures. She will probably oversee everything that DC is doing, whether it be James Gunn, whether if he flops. I mean,
bring Zack Snyder back.
I don't think Sony. I don't think I really don't feel like this realistically could happen.
They would need. I really feel like, you know how Christopher Nolan is like Warner Bros. Like one of they dogs for all these big ass movies. They need somebody like that for comic books, but like what James Gunn is doing, but it's got to be somebody that's got a good track record. Like the Dennis, I don't know how to mess up his last name. Villeneuve for Dune.
Mhm.
You got Christopher Nolan for some of these other movies. It's like, and the Russos for Disney. They would need somebody in there that definitely understands the shit because they're not about to buy
Yeah.
DC and all this other shit and be like,
Mhm.
fuck it, let's just
No,
make
I
movies.
don't.
So-
Like, no,
It's
they
too
gotta-
much. It's too much
So
risk.
okay, my question is this. Side note though, the creator, the dude that directed Doom, I feel like he could do a better job with MK with Mortal Kombat than what it did this most recent one. I feel like that if Sony gets it, they get MK, give it to him. Because Dune had so much like it was very visually pleasing. I understand MK is all about fighting, but when you add in visuals where they can expound upon the fatalities, they can make it more like expounded upon. Who knows? Sony bring MK over for the video games. Let MK be handled by a good director. Things will start to turn around. If James Gunn can, for some odd reason, make Superman great and then finish up, like, get this DCU popping, then it will build good competition for Marvel to do much better with these TV series and the movies.
And then everybody wins.
Yes.
I don't think that.
Not everybody wins, but we win. Because I'm getting sick of this nonsense.
No, I mean literally everybody wins. It would push Marvel to create better and bigger content, and then it would start to subside all of the superhero fatigue. Because now we're just not watching a bag of slop on the big screen. We actually watching shit that's keeping us engaged, like the first couple of phases of Marvel. And now we got it from Marvel and Disney. I mean Marvel and DC, which
bro.
make it even better.
But what should be pushing Marvel to make better movies is some of these shits ain't been that hot. Like that should really make them be like,
That should be enough.
No,
we should really be going back to our glory days, and we should do it like because I mean Marvel don't seem like they too focused on DC anyway. Like right now they got the upper hand, so they should be focusing on making their shit more cohesive and better than what it is.
I think that's what this next phase is
I understand that, but at the same time, they made arguably one of the best films that they've made in the past couple films with the Thunderbolts. And it went on deaf's ears because niggas have just had superhero fatigue. That's the main reason why
some ass shit.
That's the main reason Marvel and DC combined have been putting out ass shit. So niggas is like, why am I gonna spend my money to go to the movie theaters when I could just wait for this shit to drop on Disney Plus, and which I'm already paying for later on down the line? Why would I do all of this shit? Why would I even give Marvel the opportunity to let me down and waste my money?
It comes down to it like this. Yes, there will be some people like that, but Marvel's still gonna make their money because no one wants to catch those spoilers. So they're going to go see these Marvel movies.
Niggas don't care, because if they didn't care, then Thunderbolts would have been a lot better. It was a film that underachieved from the actual movie aspect and the grade of the movie. It was like a B+ movie, B to B+ movie, and it got C to D money ROI on it. It didn't supersede expectations at all. And that's because people don't care about the spoilers. They don't care about all of that shit because they don't want to spend money on it. So they don't give a damn. Spoil it for me. That's why Marvel spoiled it for them. Literally, I don't even think it was a week after. Oh, it's the new Avengers. That's what we had. That's what the asterisk was for. If it wasn't that way, Marvel would have waited hella long to do that. Gave everybody more than enough time to go to the box office to see it, or go to the theaters to see it. But they didn't, because niggas already are superhero fatigued out.
I think nobody want to see no butt movie.
Yeah, don't nobody want to waste the money. Don't nobody want to feel like they wasted money with the butt movie, especially a butt superhero movie.
Super nerdy people like us, we gonna always give them money.
But not everybody's super nerdy.
A regular person,
yeah, I've seen Thunderbolts
I'm not
twice.
seeing no terrible movie. I'm not saying if I, bro, like, all right, what's something we not fans of that all right, let's just say, like, as an example, comedies or sports movies or whatever. If you're not a like big fan of that genre, but if they make a good movie, you will see it. And they plan on making a universe of comedy movies. If them comedy movies start sucking a lot, you as the person who didn't generally love comedy as it was is going to be the first one to fall off. And it's a lot of people that weren't nerdy. A lot of this nerdiness just popped. It wasn't, y'all know, y'all
It wasn't
old
cool.
enough.
Yeah, it wasn't cool
y'all
before.
old enough to know it was a lonely world. How many people could you talk about your feelings on Doomsday killing Superman
Without
as
getting
a
cooked.
child? How many people was really looking at you like, yeah, I'm gonna have that conversation with you? Not many people. You think you go play ball with somebody? Think, oh, this is cool.
This nigga got a Batman shirt on. Maybe I can do it.
Maybe I can. And it didn't turn out you can't. He
Get
looking
that
at you like,
nerdy
what are
shit
you
away from
talking
me.
about?
Nerd
So
ass
like
nigga.
this whole nerdy thing just popped recently, but the masses don't care about
They really
nerdy. They don't care about anime. They don't care about they just like seeing entertaining movies. They like good movies. It's entertaining. And if you lose those factors, yeah, that's what's happening with Marvel. That's why I do agree with. I think the next phase though, D, I do think going to where you kind of started this whole thing along the lines, the fact that they starting to work on the next phase now and exactly what that's going to look like, it should give them ample time to get everything on par for those $1 billion box office
It seems like
successes.
I was gonna say, I think one thing that hurts it is a lot of people, like the general audience, don't really know the difference between MCU and then Sony produced movies.
Mhm.
Like when you think about it, like last year, 2024, only movie from MCU that came out was Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
Then we had Venom, Craven, and Madam Web. But
Mhm.
when they all got that Marvel tag on them, you like niggas gonna be like, yo, I'm not watching shit else from Marvel if I see them joints.
Exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so Marvel is like, okay, we definitely gotta step the game up. Like they should have something to be like, okay, this is the differentiator between us. Because even Sydney Sweeney came out and said, I thought I was gonna be in the MCU. Like my agent said I'm going to a Marvel movie. I ain't know it was Sony. Like, damn, she didn't do the research. She's like, oh, I'm doing Marvel, cool. And she's like probably the biggest flop of the year, damn near. So it's like they definitely gotta work on that shit. But we only had one MCU, of the decade. Facts. Like in 3 years, Sony really butchered Marvel's name. Like,
yeah.
The only thing that saved them was Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Morbius, Madam Web, Venom 2 and 3,
It's
and
more
Craven.
time.
And it's like, yo,
2
like,
and 3.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Marvel
Like, they
should be buying Warner Brothers.
Marvel should be buying.
Marvel
what?
should be buying.
I don't know if they can though. Because
I don't think they
like
can.
We said, like they said in the video, you can't own the rival comic book company when you own the rival comic book company. So if Sony can't do that and keep Spider-Man
but
right,
like, who else go harder for like content
Comics?
that's for children? That like, even if it's not solely geared to children, content that starts out with its appeal being towards children. Nobody really is as dedicated as Disney is, at least in America. Nobody give all of the kids stuff to Disney. I don't even care anymore. I used to care about this. Like, no, they should be able
for Warner Bros. Like, what kid stuff?
Well, I mean, all of the comic stuff that would be. It's not all kid, I know, but the general population the general consensus that those things are typically aimed towards our children first.
Yeah.
Anything that's like that, I give to Disney at this point.
What is?
I just don't trust.
But what you talking about? Animation?
Comic books, animation,
But is
Harry Potter,
really
all that.
Is that really geared towards the children though?
It's
because when you think about it, like, because when we grew up, we was reading comic books and playing, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, playing these video games, and then it's like now we grown, we get to see it in theaters, but it's like now, like, what are children doing now? It's Roblox, it's Call of Duty, it's
very
all
true.
It's
Fortnite.
all this puppet shit.
Sure.
Fortnite. So when you see like in the next 25 years, we might be getting Fortnite movies, Roblox
We absolutely
movies.
are. We already got Minecraft. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So I'm like,
That's a
what?
good
Who are they
point.
really gearing this towards? Like, are they really like? I feel like they doing this. Like, granted, they do want to have that popcorn movie feel, that entertainment feel, but it's like for the comics, like when you underexplain it, when you're explaining quantum physics or pin particles, or you're explaining like
I'm with
Captain
you.
Atom have to have a containment suit because he's just living energy, explaining Dr. Manhattan doing reality warp. And it's like when you get into that nitty gritty, you really talking to a comic book reader. Like when we see X-Men as a kid, we was going to see fucking, like as a kid, I know I was going to see Mystique, the blue naked giant. I'm going to see Magneto control metal, but you're like, oh, as you get older, it's like the explanation is really geared for people that actually read these comics. So
Yeah,
in
that's
a
true.
sense, it's like you can say kids, but I mean, we the ones that grew up reading these comics, playing these video games on PSPs and Game Boys, and it's like now that they in movies, they're like, okay, these are the people that's really spending the money to come see it. Because when you look at it online, kids doing reviews of other shit, but they're not really doing reviews of MCU, DCU, talking about different directors that's gonna bring in, you know, different elements of different stories from the comics and stuff like that.
I think it's just the ROI where Niall was bringing up the kid factor. When you bring kids into the factor and you're able to sell to kids, your return on investment grows that much more because it's not just going to be the kids at the movie theaters. It's going to be their parents. They might go with their friends. The parents might go with their friends. They might get some drinks depending on the theater.
Bro, kids make so much money from movie theaters.
Kids make
And you
hella
think
money in the movie theater.
You think the kids might be a target too for like figurines and shit?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
That's what I was-
probably
that's
the
what I was
number one
thinking.
thing.
I was thinking Disney was probably doing that for Marvel because we've been doing this Infinity shit, well, Infinity Saga, but this multiverse saga for a minute. And you like, okay, like this shit got to come to an end somehow. But it's like in this movie, they're saying there's going to be so many different variations. They're like, yo, we can make the money off the movie easily because we got OG X-Men coming back. Even though we killed the Fox Universe, Deadpool, Wolverine, we got Fantastic Four variants coming back. But then it's like when you look at it, Hot Toys come out, you got a zombie Iron Man, you got a infamous Iron Man, you got this Wolverine, you got this. So it's like they're like, yo, like bear with us, Marvel. Like I know y'all want to get past this saga, but this figurine shit gonna take off. Then we make a game with all these other variants. This shit gonna take off. It's like they're gonna create a lot of buzz. I feel like they're gonna create a lot of buzz with this movie because you see it all the time in Fortnite and GTA. They got different skins they're making. They're like, yo, we gonna get a lot of popularity from this movie. Granted, comic book readers might be mad, like we staying on this variant shit a little too long, but in the long run, we really gonna be making the money off of this because we gonna have so many different things to be selling to them.
Yo.
All right, so
one last point on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
See, like we came from humble beginnings, but I used to work at a movie theater. I can tell you the amount of money kids make. A movie, I don't know if I can say this. T, I'm sorry if I just if this blow the whole stream up, but this is really the best way I could put it. The movie theater is like a kid's strip club. It really is. Like the amount of money. No, I'm not talking about the nature of a strip club. I'm talking about the amount of money. The amount of money that kids make. No. It's like a strip club. It ain't even like no regular club. It's like a strip club.
Money goes there to die when you bring kids.
You know those little buckets, them little special buckets.
Yeah. Kids love them.
Now, one T is gonna buy that, right? Like one T is gonna buy that. You
one
know
T
how many
to 20 kids
I have seen of a birthday party with 20 kids already made enough. Already, thank you money right there. Just the tickets, popcorn on that. Then all of them want the little commemorative,
and they want snacks too. So now you giving money to the theater.
Mom, I want Twizzlers that cost $6, and I want a bucket of popcorn.
It's the collector's.
Yeah, but y'all ain't nothing to them kids.
He's getting that popcorn bucket. It's $80? Fuck no.
bro.
$80.
Oh
What
no
a
no no! I,
dweeb.
I understand, but 80 beans for a
So
popcorn
to
bucket.
T's point, you got those people, but
To a
then you
nigga
also
paying
got the
$80 for a
kids,
popcorn bucket, I already know what he looked like. They already
bro.
know
And,
what demographic they reaching.
and
Yeah,
that's what
they're
I'm
going
trying.
to
Listen,
people are going to
listen,
be out here paying for that $80 popcorn bucket.
bro.
They're
They will.
going to sit there collect it because here's the thing: over time, that stuff gains value, and people, someone else is going to buy that popcorn bucket from that person because let's just say you have someone that has a shrine to Galactus, and they see online somebody bought the popcorn bucket, but now they tripled the price of it. It went up to $240. That next person's going to buy it for $240. Then that's going to gain some value, and someone's going to buy it for $1,000. It's just going to keep going up. It's not just the children when it comes to these Marvel shows. It's not
But
just the children.
but my thing is, with
Because
the,
the
it isn't,
collectors, but the
He's not
collectors
saying
are
it's
not
not
going
just
to
the children.
use it. I'm not saying it's not like it's the children included. But here's the thing: me, as a parent of 2 children, yes, when they get older, I'm not buying that popcorn bucket.
okay.
If
but
I
pause
do,
on that thought.
I'm buying one. It's not going to get used, and I'm gonna add it to my collection. That's
So,
what it comes
T,
down to.
and this is the point, that I'm trying to make.
Uh huh.
That's the world that we know. Because I'm the same way, Rob be the same way, you be the same way, or D be the same way. There is a world where somebody will bring 20 kids, and all 20 kids will want a Galactus popcorn bucket. And
They just made $1,600. They just made
Right there.
$1,600 right there.
And
If
they
I go
will
to
pay
the,
it.
to the movie theater with 20 kids and they all want a Galactus popcorn bucket, I gotta.
I'm walking them out.
No, I'm going in with a gun in the mask. Put the bucket in the bag.
Put the bucket and put it in the bag.
That should be the name of the episode. Put the bucket in the bag.
Put the bucket in the bag. All right.
Yo, but that's where that's why we be sitting there. I really, because I sometimes will be thinking about that before working at the movies. I was thinking about that, and sometimes even now I still do think about that. I'm like, how did this movie make that much money? I mean, I know a lot of people went to go see it, but it's like, bruh, the amount of stuff that they make around, bro, and then the amount of people that are willing to buy it, like people with money, they will dish out $4,000 on a movie like it's nothing.
Ooh.
People
Just for the kids.
rich
people, rich motherfuckers.
They would buy out the theaters.
It seems
they would literally buy
absurd.
out the theater just for like a family of 5 or 6, or just a group of those 20 children. Buy that theater out for like that 2.5 hour mark for that movie,
plus all of the commemoratives,
and
plus
honestly,
all of that stuff, and still go home and have a birthday party.
But the thing is, though, it really is not that expensive to rent a theater out. Honestly, it really is not.
Probably not. Yeah,
It's
not,
not because some people rent it out to play games, like to play video games. I've seen people play Halo and play Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, it's not that expensive at all.
It's not.
All right.
I think for one movie, it's like $120 at AMC.
Yeah,
Something like
that's
that.
not
It's really
bad.
not
Rob,
that
your
bad.
boy. I see that. Yeah, I'll tap into that. All right. Now let's finish it off right here. With the WB and Sony stuff. Did any of y'all change y'all mind? Yes or no? You ain't got to go into explicit detail of why you changed it. Did y'all change your mind about it?
Nah, it's still the same.
Yeah, liking
I'm
it.
on the fence, so I don't care.
Hell no.
I personally, if they keep the James Gunn and James Gunn actually knocks it out the park with the Superman, I would hope that they would keep James Gunn in power and keep it like that. I can trust Sony enough for the gaming aspect. Everything else, when it comes to live action movies, I don't trust them. That's why somebody else would need to be at the helm.
Right.
What about you now?
Right.
I just don't think it's that. Like, if it was just DC, yeah, I could say, okay, I could see it and I could see a deal coming out of it. But there's no way, not with all of those IPs. There's no way to pay. Sony couldn't pay for it. Not Sony Group could pay for it. Sony Pictures, the division of Sony Group, does not make enough money, in my opinion, for what that price tag should be.
I think they should be able to. I think
No.
they got some money.
No. I'm putting all of those franchises. I'm definitely putting all of those franchises at a price tag rivaling what the Bus family just asked for the Lakers.
when we think about it though, it wouldn't be the entirety of WB because WB also has the cable rights for different
Yeah.
stuff like TNT and all of that jazz.
Right.
So the price point might not be as large
No, I'm
as it
still
would be
setting it
with
high.
all of them. It will be large, but it won't be as
Mortal-
large with
bro.
all of the cable. Hey,
Mortal
they fucked up
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, didn't they? I don't
DC,
even think.
no, but it ain't a matter of that. It's the fact of the matter is it's a beloved franchise of all time. Mortal Kombat, DC, Harry Potter. Them three alone.
So it's most
That's
of
a
the guys are
Yeah, Harry Potter.
huge. That's a huge price tag. That's
Around
not no
20
regular.
Potentially around 20 billion or more. Ooh,
Sony can't
tens
pay
of
that.
billions of dollars.
Sony Pictures, Sony Group could pay it, no problem. But is Sony Group going to pay that? I'm not taking my TV money out
No.
Yeah.
for your little comic book characters.
They did try to acquire Paramount recently, and that's a couple billies too. So who knows? Who knows? All right. Like we seen in that video
Despite
at the
Thor
end of
looking-
it. Like we seen in that video that we just seen, at the end of it, they were talking about some Punisher news in regards to Spider-Man. So the cat's out of the bag. It looks like Punisher is verified to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. We know that Spider-Man is coming out now before Doomsday, and it seems like they're going more so towards a street level film, and probably having a little bit of multiversal elements instead of what we were rumored before and what Sony was pushing for, which was more multiversal elements and less of a street film. We also got rumors that Hulk might be in there and he might get turned back into Savage Hulk. If Punisher is in there, we also might have some rumors for Daredevil actually being a part of it as well. So how are y'all feeling about these Punisher rumors just solely based off of that? And are y'all liking what y'all hearing from this Spider-Man, from the rumors for this new Spider-Man film?
It could be cool. I do wish Kingpin was in it. Maybe, Spider-Man
Maybe he
is
is.
on some stopping vigilante shit.
Mhm.
Like, I seen Punisher just put a hole through 20 niggas trying to sell a dime bag.
Mhm.
You can't do that. And then it's like maybe Daredevil I feel like maybe Spider-Man and Daredevil both trying to talk down Punisher. I don't know, but I feel like it's good to have like a street level threat or something in Punisher and Spider-Man. Then you could bring in Hulk, Mr. Negative or whatever, but it's good they're not like bringing in fucking Fing Fang Foom for this nigga to fight or something.
Even though it is supposed to be a giant spider.
Damn, I forgot. Fuck.
That's your
think
Fing Fang Foom.
I don't know what the backstory. It wasn't Kingpin that gave Mr. Negative his powers. It was some other shit I can't remember. But I think there could be a way where they could still use Kingpin as the big bad at the end, who's like orchestrating all the shit, and he's just using proxies like Mr. Negative, his clan, and all of these other people to help him out, and that's why Punisher comes within it, because now it seems like Daredevil, what just happened in this recent season, is now going to be segueing into the Spider-Man films, which is making me feel like there's going to be a lot more connections than we initially thought. So if that's the case, I think they're moving incredibly in the right direction. And Spider-Man being Spider-Man 24/7, and he's just fucking emo as fuck as Peter Parker, and he's the dweeb that we're accustomed to seeing, don't have no life. Nigga, no Aunt May. Nigga, no friends. Like, it might be some good shit. And then you add in Mr. Negative and possibly the black suit, and then possibly on top of that, fucking Hulk and the Kingpin. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like a fire lineup to me.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a super fire lineup to me, and a great way to go from what they went from in the multiversal Sinister Six in the last film to now. I guess you could say a Sinister Six, a natural in-universe Sinister Six, depending on how many niggas he got to fight. But
Do we know that for a fact though?
it
That
depends.
they all are in universe?
Depending on how many, Mr. Negative would be in universe if they do have a Mr. Negative. It doesn't seem like they're taking any villains from any other universes, from my understanding. I could be wrong. I haven't seen any rumors about any of these people coming from different universes. But
But it
Hulk
is supposed to have a multiversal tie-in, correct? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I guess somewhat. I think the multiversal tie-in now, if we're going strictly off rumors, I think it might be more so for the Doctor Doom element, since it's the last film before Doomsday.
Mhm.
That's what I'm assuming, though. And
Okay.
that's why I think the street level increased, or the amount of street level increase, and the amount of multiversal decrease. So then they're able to just put in that Doctor Doom reference or bring in what's going on with Doctor Doom, and that could be the multiversal element. And they're not beating us over the head with it throughout the whole entire film. They could truly focus on the villains that they have for the street level. Because I think they talked about even more villains, like Scorpion is supposed to make his debut finally, which would be fucking. I'm thinking about it, man. They said
Yo,
that they
you
wanted to
love
go.
some Spider-Man.
They
You
said they
love
wanted.
some Spider-Man.
I do, but I
That
also
side was
love.
like, oh
We
man.
do.
I do, but I also love when they're keeping true to their word. They said they wanted to make it a darker tone. They wanted to make it more adult rated. If you add Punisher's whole thing. I can't remember Berthol. I can't remember his name right now. John Berthol.
Yeah.
His whole thing about him returning as Punisher is y'all niggas better not fucking pussify me. I'm sorry, that'd probably be the wrong terminology. You niggas better not fucking course correct me into being all this Disney bullshit. I need to be cooking niggas. I need to be stabbing niggas. There needs to be blood. I need to be shooting niggas in the head. Point blank minimum. That was the only way he was gonna return to his Punisher role when they got the rights back from the TV show, the Netflix series. That was the only way. So if he's coming into this Spider-Man film, I already know it's gonna be a darker tone off it, because this nigga wouldn't have came back if it wasn't a darker tone. So that's all I wanted, is a darker tone Spider-Man film, really up the stakes and really show the difference between a younger Peter Parker and a college Peter Parker that's basically lost everything. Kind of like the Absolute series, I guess you say. I don't think we've ever had Peter. I mean, we have had Peter lose Aunt May at some point in time. Obviously, Uncle Ben before, but it hasn't been, I don't think, this early in his
Both.
comic book timeline.
Yeah.
So I think they cook it with some. I'm confused. They might be giving us the runaround just so we don't know what the plot is or anything like that. But it's looking very good.
Yep.
How y'all feeling about it?
T.
I feel as though it's gonna be a good film, because with them keeping it grounded and like street level, it kind of gives us something to really look forward to. Like, make it feel like it's not some grandiose thing, but it's like watching the Demon Slayer anime in movie form. So it's like you got the TV show, because many of these TV shows have been very grounded, like Daredevil, and it's like they're going to carry over that gritty, grimy, down to earth vibe for this upcoming Spider-Man movie when they're adding in Punisher and we're getting Hulk. Granted, how they're going to take down the Hulk is probably the same way with Vision. He's not Vision, with Thunderbolts. What's the homie? Void. Thank you. Like, how do you take down the Hulk when it's just Spider-Man and Punisher, maybe Daredevil? Somebody's bones is getting cracked, like ASAP.
Black suit Spidey and Mr. Negative probably.
There's a good chance. Yes, I can see that. But to get to that point, it's like
I'm with T.
it's
Raging
gonna-
Hulk.
yeah, especially Raging Hulk. It's like
Raging Hulk.
the power of
If Mr.
friendship,
Negative
because they're
can-
gonna.
If he can influence emotions, that they said that's how the movie ends off. That's one of the reports I heard. With
Oh, I can see
Hulk
that.
being in a rage. So if you got Mr. Negative, like let's say he come in and Hulk is regulated or whatever, and it's like the end of the movie there, Spider-Man got the black suit on and Mr. Negative trying to make an escape for it, and Hulk there with him. And he's like, shit, let me just try to influence the Hulk. Bam. The movie ended with Mark Ruffalo going crazy.
Mm. And
Mm.
they
So
leave
maybe
it where it's like
there is no
unchecked.
And then
maybe there is no
Doomsday.
defeat.
And then
So
Doomsday.
Doomsday get here, they like, oh, we going to Earth, a safe space. Then you got Fantastic Four or whoever on that ship coming. and they like, hey, yo, what the fuck is this?
Mind you, the Hulk in the worst form Hulk, the Sentry he could go toe to toe with the Sentry. We've
That
seen
was
that.
World War Hulk.
What if because Mr. Negative controls emotions so well, what if he taps into Hulk's negative emotions so much that he pulls out the World War Hulk version?
Yeah,
of this
that's
nigga
what I
too?
was
That's what
figuring.
I was saying,
Yeah.
But he can't be Hulk like, oh, he's just jumping through buildings, like, oh, Hulk is damaging the city. No, this gotta be Hulk like he turned around and decapitate an old lady or something.
He stomped the whole city, feel it. It's
No,
crumbling
nigga,
underneath
this
his
has
feet.
to be like Omni-Man Hulk. Like, we need to see him crush a civilian with his bare hand. Hulk.
Crush a civilian with his bare hands.
But you gotta remember, it's
Nigga D wanna see
Spider-Man, so
blood.
they only gonna go so far with what they show. It just by default can't be
Easy.
too dark.
Have him throw a school bus full of kids. Man of
That's
Steel.
it. Just don't show nothing else. But just
What's
throw
good
it.
with you and the kids
No,
today, man?
listen, because Man of Steel was PG-13 in that movie to show how brutal the world engine was. A school bus full of children was lifted into the air. You heard the screams of the children, and then it slammed to the ground. All they got to show is Hulk launched that joint to like New
Yeah.
Jersey.
Launch it in outer space.
Jersey. Send the
that
kids
bus to
in
New
Yo,
space.
you ever do? Is it a little?
Magic
Is it a
school bus
little?
The man said send it in the space.
Nigga called it the Magic School Bus.
That's crazy. That's the part that.
Where
got me.
is Miss
That's
Frizzle?
Crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Okay,
lord.
all right. To sum up how I feel about what we're hearing, I am excited. I like everything that I hear, because when I think about the totality of just all of the stuff that I hear, and it's okay, well, even if it didn't have all of those things, I still think that it would be a really good movie based off the things that we've heard. The idea that it is supposed to have some type of tie-in with Doomsday, I think, is really cool. The idea of having more street level characters is something that we've wanted, and I'm really glad that we're getting a chance to see in this film. It does, at the point that we're at with Tom Holland's Peter Parker, not just Spider-Man, but Peter Parker, there should be some maturity, and it should create a little bit more darker tones to that. I'm all for that. It's so much good stuff that you're hearing that it's almost making me wonder, is it like, are they going, I don't know. It's like, it's a Spider-Man movie, which have traditionally been done very well. So it's like when I'm just thinking about all of these things, I'm like, man, it almost sounds too good to be true if they were to. But they have had a lot of success with the Spider-Man movies that they've done. So maybe they could do all of these things, fit all of these things, and still make a really good movie. And this is just yet another example of a great Spider-Man movie during the Tom Holland saga. Very, very, very possible. But it does make me wonder. I think it's a lot of pressure on it. Remember I was saying I think it's a lot of pressure on Captain America? I was wrong about that. I don't think that there was as much pressure on Captain America. I think it's more pressure on Spider-Man now than it was on Captain America Brave New World. So I don't know. This is the last movie that you have coming out before the Avengers. I guess to sum up what I say in terms of my worry is it makes me wonder if they might, and we were talking about this a little bit before, they might mess up because of that anticipation of Avengers being right there knocking on your door. Like if Captain Marvel had of not had any connection whatsoever to the idea of it coming out before the Avengers, what was it, Endgame? Was it Endgame that it came out before, or was it Infinity Wars?
What, the Marvels?
No, Captain Marvel, the first one.
That came up between
Endgame.
Endgame.
It was between. So like, if they had taken their time with that movie and not had that movie sandwiched in between two mega blockbusters that they knew were going to be mega blockbusters, would it have been a better movie?
Probably.
I mean, shit, it made $1 billion. They ain't give a fuck.
Yeah. So that's what make me kind of worry, is that do they just kind of try to, instead of maximizing the idea of how much a street level Superman could really mean to especially comic book fans like us, but also the children who are being introduced to Spider-Man, instead of focusing on that, they focus on we just want to showcase everything that we needed to showcase that people have complained about us not showcasing via this Spider-Man. Whether it's end credit scenes, whether it's people that they introduce throughout the movie, whether it's things that they allude to throughout the movie. I just worry about that. I do, but it's a very small worry because the Spider-Man movie's been good. Just putting it simple, the Spider-Man movies have all been really good. So why? You got a formula that work. They know how to work it for the most part, I would imagine. Why would there be any reason for them to mess it up? So it's a very small concern, but it does put a little bit of pressure in my eyes on the Spider-Man movie because of the position that it's in. But
It's very
Punisher, Scorpion,
is
Mr. Negative, possibly Kingpin, possibly Daredevil,
possibly Hulk.
all street level, Hulk in the movie, multiversal twist, Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. That's been nothing but successes.
More Spider-Man
Not
than
to
ever.
even mention Venom Spider-Man, possibly black suit Spider-Man. Still can't rule out the idea of Miles Morales possibly having some connection to this film, even if it is very loose. Pause if needed. Yeah, I caught it. That's how I know T distracted.
Yeah.
That's how I know T distracted. That's how I know T distracted.
No, I wasn't distracted. I was just letting you live.
Okay.
Y'all think they would introduce Miles Morales in this movie?
They already introduced him. They already introduced
It's a
him.
possibility.
Introduced him when?
They introduced him at the end of what is the
Talk about
first movie?
the childish Gambino,
Homecoming.
the uncle.
They already talked about him. Like his uncle, the Prowler, was in there. And then they showed him in the Into the Spider-Verse being locked up as the Prowler.
Childish Gambino was really the Prowler
Yeah. They
in the
showed him
MCU?
Yeah. He
Yeah,
didn't
he
make
was.
it to that point at that point.
They
in
didn't
time.
show him in the suit,
Oh.
but
They
he
didn't
was
show
the
him in
No.
Yeah.
They showed him in the suit though.
Did they?
Into the Spider-Verse.
And that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking about the actual live action Spider-Man films though. If they actually showed him in the suit. But yes, he did bring it up. He was talking about his nephew was in the area and everything like that. Spider-Man, do your thing.
The only thing that I
all that buzzword.
would say as to why no probably is more realistic is Sony gonna want to do. They gonna want to have that translation. They'll tell Sony, look, you could bring, or the Marvel, you could bring Miles Morales into the live action universe, but let us get our animated movie out first. Let us let
They're
that
gonna
tie
make a
to
Prowler
it.
movie. Watch.
I'll be
Possibly.
happy with that.
Possibly. I want to be. I honestly want to be mad at
animated or
that.
live action.
Live action.
Live action. I want to be mad at that.
Sony, fuck no.
Yeah, you said it would
Not
be
Sony.
live, but that's the thing. Sony would be
Marvel.
like, oh, Prowler movie. We gotta get a black director for that.
Ryan Coogler, come help us.
Hey, Ryan Coogler, the only black director in Hollywood. We need this Prowler movie. Stat.
He will do it.
He'd be like, all right, homie. Homie hopping ass nigga. He really would go over there and do that
No,
shit.
don't do that. Don't do that.
Not Ryan Coogler, dog.
Who else gonna direct it? Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah.
They like, yo, the pickings is slim. We got a black villain. We need one of you niggas over here behind the camera
Oh,
tomorrow.
I can see
my
if they
goodness.
said they wanted to do a Prowler movie, I do see him being like, yeah, I do that. I do see him.
Yeah, I do that.
I would
do
not want
see
Childish Gambino as the Prowler, though. I tell you that for real.
I think
That
he's
might be
aged-
the
I think he's
only way
aged out
to
of it.
get him. To be honest
don't
with you,
know.
I think that would be the only way you could get Childish Gambino to come back to just kind of continue what they already started, is if they did get somebody like Ryan Coogler. Because he probably,
No,
I would
don't
imagine
want-
at this
I don't want
point.
Childish Gambino in that shit. No way.
Why?
I hear
Why
you,
though?
but-
Why though?
I don't love him as an
scream.
actor.
Unless he's
I
playing
really
some
don't.
goofy shit, he's not a nigga that you would be like, that's the Prowler.
Yeah, something missing. He don't got that.
He said he is
something-
open to returning to the role in the future. He is a different Prowler. I give D that. I think it'll be
He's
an
more like
interesting
a,
take
he'd
on
be
it.
like a Riddler Prowler. A
Riddler.
talkative nigga. A Prowler, you need a nigga that's sneaky. What nigga is sneaky in Hollywood? You know who could be a
But I
good
tell you
Prowler?
what, if
Jonathan
anybody could
Major.
get it done,
But he's
That
coming
Bell
back as
Buffalo.
Kang apparently.
No, they about to use that.
Who,
Bell
Donald
Buffalo
Glover?
nigga.
No, Jonathan Majors.
Oh
He
yeah,
would be a
probably, most
great
likely.
Prowler. You see
would
how
be
he?
surprised.
I'm
see how
not
he acted
gonna
with
lie
Megan
to you
Good?
though.
You see how he acted with
I'm
Megan
not-
Good? That
Hey.
fake shit.
Hey,
And then she turned her back. He a Prowler.
hey,
Wow.
Yo, that I'm not gonna hold you. That would be a good challenge though for Ryan Coogler, because it's like, okay, could you kind of morph the appearance of this person, Childish Gambino, and how they appear in films in a Prowler movie? I don't like that. Would be probably a good challenge for somebody who's only really been able to show themselves do that with Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
It would be kind of interesting to see how could he get that same thing off with Childish Gambino as Prowler, because I do agree. I think he's too stiff. I don't like him as an actor. I don't hate him as an actor, but he ain't nothing special. I would rather have somebody else in that role as well. Is Dams and Idris gonna really be a Black Panther, or is that just some clickbaity thing?
That's seeming like it might be an actual thing now.
Because he would be a good Prowler.
He was asked recently if Marvel came and talked to him about becoming Black Panther. He said, yes and no.
He would make a good Prowler.
And then he was asked, would you like to be a Black Panther in the MCU? And he was like, yeah.
Nah, you know who could be a good Prowler? Damn near. I'm looking at this list.
Michael Jai White.
Hey, he could, but it depends on how old Miles' dad is, because it's like you could do the nigga that played Black Manta. You could do.
Oh, that's true. I liked him.
Sterling K. Brown. He too Sterling K. Brown. You just hear that nigga voice and be like,
What about that Aldous Hodge?
But Sterling K. No, that was no.
Aldous Hodge. I fuck with Aldous Hodge.
Wait, but wasn't Sterling K. Brown in
I'd rather keep Lakeith Stanfield for Silver Surfer. I'd rather keep him at that.
I mean, he's silver though, like.
Yeah, I don't really need to see the nigga skin tone to know he's Silver Surfer.
But I'm saying, Lakeith Stanfield can be Silver Surfer, but he can also be the Prowler.
I think he'd be a better Silver Surfer being that quirky ass nigga that he is, quiet ass nigga that he is.
But I mean, if we going on Silver Surfer, I'm talking the one from 2005. That Silver Surfer, he gonna act like that. They can definitely just leave him as
Sterling K. Brown was in Black Panther already. He played in Jobu. Yeah, he played in Jobu.
Oh, they killed that nigga.
Yeah. So he can't come back anyway.
Aldous Hodge could definitely be.
Aldous Hodge wouldn't be too bad.
They were saying maybe John Boyega too.
That's if that nigga want to even be tied with the Disney, anything Disney related.
But
that nigga
I was thinking Denzel Washington's son.
No, this Denzel Washington son. Get that nigga far away from films. I'm sorry.
Bro,
yo, why is your beef with him? What did he do? He was so bad.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like him as an actor.
He's okay as an actor. He's not really
too
that
much.
crazy. Like with his father, let's just compare his father. I hate to do this. I really do hate to do it. But let's just compare his father. His father is how he plays his roles is just so effortless. We seen that nigga in fucking what was it, Greek or Roman times? Nigga, I really thought that niggas back then was 1-1 with white people, Greek and Roman niggas. And what's the film? The Gladiator? The Gladiator 2? I really thought that nigga was actually intertwined with all of that shit. And it's just so easy. From the Training Day, from all the other films that he has, it's just effortless. It seems like his son tries a little bit too hard.
The best movie I thought he was in was that Black Klansman movie. That was
he did a good job in that one. He did do a good job in that one.
That goofy ass shit.
I like the Tenet. Was it Tenet?
Tenet was good.
Tenet was pretty cool.
Whatever.
But for real, if you really want to say somebody, I would say like if it was like 10 years ago, Jamie Foxx would have been the nigga to play.
And if
that would have been perfect.
Electro.
Yeah.
I hope that if there's a way for them to bring his Electro back, I would absolutely love that. I'm not gonna lie.
Prowler is 100% Spider-Man character too, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a Marvel standalone character.
Nope. Spider-Man related.
That might be, if I was Marvel, that might be, I would maybe throw that on the table. Yo, let me do a Prowler movie for y'all. Y'all can't get any other character off the ground anyways.
Them niggas not gonna do that.
Let me do a Prowler movie. Let me do a Prowler movie for y'all, and y'all get the ball moving on letting us have the Miles Morales Spider-Man in the MCU as well.
Sony is
low
too
trade
giddy.
off.
about making villain movies and making them
Bro, it's
anti-heroes.
crazy because they
You
gon-
think Sony gonna see the Prowler and be like, let's give this over to Marvel to create? Fuck no. Sony
Is
be
it a
like,
character that they thinking about though? Is it?
they
Are they
probably
really?
were.
They got
I
their
wouldn't be
mind
surprised
on
if they
Prowler?
wasn't. I wouldn't be surprised if they was. If they came up with Madam Web, fucking
Yeah, that's a
Craven, fucking
Yeah, but those is
Morbius.
like, all right. A lot of those characters though are like
Peter Parker.
a lot of.
villains.
All right, but hear me out. A lot of people saw the '90s animated Spider-Man. I mean, it was extremely popular. The whole ride and all of that Universal got. That's it's all based off essentially that '90s Spider-Man series, and it's still loved. Even when I went on the roller coaster in Universal Studios, they had the camera with the episodes on it.
Yep.
And I was watching it today. I was watching it. I was in line. It was a long line, so I'm glad they had that. But I was watching the episode, like mad when I was in a part of line where I couldn't watch the episode. But anyways, I do feel like that's where Sony got the idea to pull a lot of their villains from. Because you do get like the Madam Web in that. You do get the Morbius. You do get these different characters that like looking at it with a very limited view, but looking at it from that view, you might say these characters could make great live action movies. Now, Sony just couldn't execute it properly. I don't even know if it's fair to say that they don't. It's just the only iteration we have is Sony's iteration of it, and it's bad. But if they did Prowler, you know it would be bad. So you can't just give Prowler to Marvel to do in exchange for them being able to use Miles Morales, something else they probably gonna have to help y'all with. Anyway, you can't grant them that wish. Let them do a Prowler movie for you.
God damn.
What?
No, why? Now I was talking about that shit. I was looking at the next topic about fucking. I was gonna briefly talk about Blade, but the Superman box office numbers, nigga, they need to reach a minimum 736.6 million to 909.5
Wow, just to make a
million,
profit.
just to break even.
I'm not gonna lie to you though, bro. I know they got those pre-sale tickets up, but I think the first week they could hit 350. I know that sounds crazy.
How it's looking?
too
I don't
many
think it might even.
people.
Nile on the crack from the
It's-
80s.
Yeah,
It's
he
too
is.
many people. It's too
Yeah,
many
yeah.
people that's gonna be curious.
They upped it up.
Nah,
We
no,
we
it's
we here now. I'm guessing it's a resounding. We all like what's going on with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What they're doing. What the rumors
Yeah.
are. We're already here now. Quickly, Blade looks like it's going through now. The person from the old trilogy, the director from the old trilogy, David Goyer, actually hit up Marvel after hearing about all the issues they've been having and notifying him, "Hey, I'm available if y'all need help." And Marvel said, "Nah, I think we cracked the code. I think we're good to go." So we can talk on that briefly after
So wait,
we
what'd they
bring up
do?
the Superman.
So
What?
who's taking it over?
Who directed it?
'Cause that could be just a brief topic. we don't need to go
yeah.
crazy, and it is a brief topic. Who taking it over? I'll handle this one for us. Did they give it to Ryan Coogler? That's the question of the day. If not, I don't
No.
care. I don't
Nah,
care.
bro, he don't gotta direct everything live.
Now, I
But he
understand
didn't get
that.
it.
There's no confirmed new director for the film.
This movie not coming out.
No, it's not.
It's probably
This
in the next,
movie not.
probably in the next 3
They
years.
need
I'll
to
say in the
re-
next 3
They
years.
need to recast. Nobody wants Mahershala
Next
Ali to
phase.
play.
I think
It'll
Mahershala
be
Ali
next
will be a
phase.
fire
Next phase, they'll revisit this.
Mahershala Ali is a great actor.
He's
He
not
could be a
good
fine.
player.
He could be a good Blade. I don't think it's fair to
think he'd
shoot
be a
him
good
down
Blade.
just because this movie been going to.
We didn't even see that nigga in the fit yet.
I shot it down when he was casted.
Oh, brother.
I don't think he'd be that bad.
I don't think he will.
But I think it's a next phase movie. It ain't. It definitely ain't coming out no time.
Oh yeah,
soon.
yeah. If they switch it up to a Midnight Suns film and introduce him there, I'm not too
That would be
upset about
fire.
that. I'm not too upset about that
We've
at all.
already seen him act in a comic book show. Are we forgetting the nigga played Cottonmouth and did a terrible job?
Nigga, that
And
was
killed by-
we
killed
can't
by
put
Alfred
that
Woodard?
on that nigga. We cannot put that on him.
Well, it's
That's
on his
Netflix.
IMDb.
Yeah, you want to know what's
Cotton
crazy? A
mouth.
lot of people like Luke Cage. I don't
That Luke-
understand. Yeah, bro. I can't go. too long without hearing somebody either say they like the character Luke Cage, they like the story. It just be random people, but like I sit there every time I hear it. I'm like, what are y'all? We had to watch two different things because
We
there's
did.
no way possible. But anyway,
They can't get black characters right on these TV shows, man.
go get Ryan Coogler.
It's still no director at this present point in time. Supposedly, it's been talks with John Wick director, all of that
No.
jazz, which I think would.
No.
No.
If he has a good writer, yes, because Blade, the
No.
main part, one of the main reasons why that first Blade trilogy with Wesley Snipes was so good, it wasn't just the story, it was that fucking action.
That's a
It
fact.
was that fucking
That's a fact.
action.
The
And
John
John Wick
action style
knows
is the John
action.
Wick director would get that right. Everything else,
John
We
Wick
need a
with
good writer.
superpowers and
Ooh.
a sword instead of guns. Come
And
on.
a nigga, a vampire nigga at that. He might be cooking with something. I don't know. All right, so Superman. Initial box office. I think the initial box office projections were a lot higher. Earlier
150,
predictions
yeah.
were 125 million to 145 million, or even 145 million to 165 million. That actually has dropped down now and has been revised, and now the opening box office weekend is estimated to be around 90 million to 125 million in the US. That's just domestically, but even at that, if that's the case, it's gonna be hard for these niggas to break even.
Yeah,
it's gonna have to look like it's gonna be an election.
You got Jurassic World that drops before that,
Yep.
and then 2 weeks after that, you got Fantastic.
It drops
effing
with
four.
it. It drops at the same time, like the same
Fantastic.
week.
You got Jurassic World that drops in the beginning of July, if I'm not mistaken, and then you got Superman that drops the week after, if I'm not mistaken, and then you have Fantastic Four that drops 2 weeks.
All right, I take
after
it
that.
back. Yeah, I take it
You
all the way
said
back.
350 million in a week.
Yeah, I take it all the way back. I didn't think about the things coming out around it. That's gonna take a lot
Nigga,
away.
Thunderbolts made 470
Total.
his whole time in a theater.
Total.
Captain America made
Bro, I'm just
470.
the thing is though, it's just
It is
Superman.
Nigga,
It's
Henry
Superman.
Cavill Superman made 700K. I mean 700 million, 700 million.
First week?
Man of Steel? No, not
No, I'm
first
talking
week.
about box
That's
office.
total.
Yeah. First
yeah,
week,
you're
I
right.
think Man of Steel made around 100 something mil.
James Gunn Superman, nigga, that shit not fantastic.
Nah, yeah,
Four
y'all
might
right.
do
Yeah,
100
y'all right.
mil.
Oh, this movie about to be so bad.
And if y'all see,
they need
amount of
700 mil.
people, they need minimum
Oh, James Gunn about
731
to
mil.
get fired.
Minimum.
731 million minimum.
Man
Gunn
of
might-
Steel made 116.6 million in his first 3 days. Opening box office.
116.6 million.
116. Mm-hmm.
Do you think this one can make more than that this open?
Including Thursday night previews, the total domestic gross for the opening weekend was 128.7 million. So
Do you think this one could beat it?
can't
That's the better. Okay, back up. I was bugging with that number before. Completely 100% agree with y'all. Do you think that the hype around this though could beat the Man of Steel opening week numbers?
There is no hype?
I'm not liking
A lot of
how
people wanna see
they're
it.
kind of skewing the numbers and all the rigmarole that they're doing with the Amazon Prime early releases and all of that jazz. It's skewing the numbers, and now you have to come back and actually fix the numbers. I'm not liking that one bit. It's showing me that they're not confident with this motherfucker even breaking Man of Steel first box office weekend numbers.
Yeah, no, that 90 looking real.
I
That's
haven't bought my ticket yet.
crazy.
I don't
I'm
know.
not buying a ticket.
90 mil. Bro, could you imagine if a movie that need to make 700
Make 90 million?
They ain't getting mine.
make
Get my money.
$90 million in his first, bro. It's gotta be like I'm telling you, there's no way. That's so sad if a
Nigga,
Superman
because you
movie-
think about it, after that 90 mil, this I promise y'all, this might make like 400 million. Because when Fantastic Four come out,
That shit
and
dropping
people
off.
see-
I feel like
and
you're
people
right.
and people see Doctor Doom or Galactus or whatever. I promise you, Doctor Doom gonna have to be in the after credit scene.
He
'Cause
is.
People gonna be like, they're gonna have to build that hype for Doomsday because that's the next movie they come out, right? Oh no, Spider-Man, but still, it's like, bruh, that trumps the Superman shit.
Nobody gonna want to. Yeah, nobody. You figure the week it come out, it's still gonna be more. It's gonna be a decent amount of people who like sci-fi ish things that's still gonna be wanting to go see Jurassic Park, see whether it's good or bad, because somebody gonna tell them whether it was good or bad. That's the same week that Superman will be coming out. You know how your movie come out, people tell you it's real trash. You want to go see it to see if it's really trash. Let's say Jurassic Park is trash. There's gonna be that influx that following week that just want to find out for themselves. Numbers down automatically. Then the week after that, you get a little buffer. The week after that, nothing come out after the week after Superman, right?
No, Superman is there for 2 weeks, and then you got
the second week might be better than the first week.
So, nigga, Jurassic
And that's
World Rebirth
crazy.
is projected to make solidly 115 mil to 135 mil.
If this is good, bro, I'm telling you, you can see a first week that's like 70 to 90, and then the second week maybe they break 100, and then after that it's just straight decline. Because
it's gonna be hard to stay.
Four,
it's gonna be hard to stay with Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four has a lot more riding on it, has a lot more background attached to it.
If after that second week, because usually after that second week, if people told you the first week the movie was butt, then the second week people tell you the movie was butt, ain't nobody really trying to go see it come week 3. Anyways.
That nigga James Gunn gonna be in a dark place.
Oh, 190. Yo, if they make like it might get 275 total.
I think it might pass that 400 mil threshold.
I'm almost hoping, like, now that y'all provided the context for me, I'm almost hoping D right and it hit somewhere in the neighborhood of 400,000 or 400 million. It should. It's Superman. Like, I mean, like it's Superman, bro. Like, that's sad. If Superman only got 250 to 275 million that comes in,
nigga, I would have moved my Superman movie if I was DC.
Yeah, ain't no way they should be having this come out the same time as these other juggernaut movies.
As soon as they found out Marvel was releasing Fantastic Four after them and Jurassic World right before them, they should have been like, all right, let's shoot for an August drop date.
Universal,
give us a little bit more time.
Right before niggas go back to school, we gonna do this Superman shit where ain't no other competition.
Give us a little bit more time to work on the CGI that we've been getting cooked over on Twitter. Some of them fight scenes is crazy, dog.
And you think about it like faces. Superman come out July 11th. The week before that, Jurassic World and his 4th of July. So niggas already gonna be strapped for cash at that point.
Yeah.
Niggas get paid the next week when Fantastic Four come out. It's over. It's like, I got time to go see Fantastic Four, but
Superman.
I'm about to go double up with these kids. I just got done spending all of this money seeing Jurassic Park with them, doing all of this stuff at the park. Now I need to go take them to go see Superman again. What they saying about Superman? Oh, Superman is bad. No, I'm about to just let them play
3 movies
Fortnite.
in 3 weeks. Granted, people gonna wait it out, but it's like, yo, like DC, you're really banking on people to go see your shit over Marvel.
They cocky. They cocky. They being cocky. This is 100% cockiness because it's like
that James Gunn narcissism,
bro.
Niggas seen that suit and was like, yeah, green like that shit.
Universal said we can't give you the Hulk Marvel, but we gonna definitely throw a Jurassic Park movie out there for you just so that way your rival can't succeed.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That nigga James Gunn was sitting there. He was like, put that scene in where Superman punches the nigga and his teeth fly off the camera and shit. That shit is gonna get him, I promise you.
Bro.
That shit had me so mad. Superman punching anybody should lead to death. Not
bro,
having
I already was having a hard time having any faith in this movie. And now I might be the most pessimistic one out of y'all. I genuinely might. Because y'all saying numbers like 400, 3 something. I really can see this movie hitting like 250 and that's it.
No, that's the Marvel's box office. 207.
Yes.
Nah.
Yes, I can see it being 50 million above Marvel's. I know.
I don't see this going over 500 million though. I don't see that.
No.
Because when Man of
No.
Steel came out, I don't think there was nothing like there was really nothing else except for the criticism. People say, "Oh, it's trash," or "Superman don't kill." But it's like this, bro. This movie, from what we've seen, no one has ever said this trailer excited me, or this looks good, or this looks good. It's like, bro, there's been so much focus on the dog, on Lois Lane, on all this extra shit. It's like, bro, this don't feel like a Superman movie. It just feels like Guardians of the Galaxy with DC characters.
But I think
Again.
that's the part that y'all might be underestimating, and that's why I said such a high number in the beginning of this. Is because it's a lot of those like major Guardians of the Galaxy-esque fans that I feel like are gonna go see this and hype this movie up before they go see it. And the question is how many people is that? But with Guardians of the Galaxy being a movie that did pretty well with Marvel, that's what I think boosts your numbers. I legit think there's essentially the same way that everybody always complain about, oh, Zack Snyder's fans. I feel like the fan base around James Gunn is like that, where they just it's a significant amount of people that's going to just go see the movie because James Gunn made it and it's got a dog, real stupid reasons. But well, I shouldn't judge.
It got James Gunn's dog.
Judge. It's got James Gunn's dog. It's got people playing with it. Like literally, you gotta understand.
No. It got James Gunn's farm really that he grew up on.
Facts.
Yeah.
He said he's like this Kent farm.
He modeled it,
reminiscent of the land I grew up in.
I don't give a fuck about your bitch ass and where you came from. This shit don't got nothing to do with Superman. Why are we going to your family fucking farm, nigga?
Bro, because he really
changing his house to a fucking trailer because that's what you grew up in. James, I fucking understand you came from humble beginnings, nigga, but I don't give a fuck about your life when it comes to Superman.
That's crazy.
Don't.
You're a terrible individual.
I don't.
Bro.
I didn't come here to see fucking James Gunn viewing himself in a Superman costume. I came here to view Clark Kent in the Superman costume.
We're going to be able to review any big movies because of this.
Oh, James Gunn is gonna hate me.
Oh,
hate me, nigga. Hate me, nigga.
I don't think that he's done enough. I don't think that he's done enough, like movie wise. I don't think he's done enough bad for me to like hate him.
He made the Scooby-Doo movie,
but the Scooby-Doo movie wasn't terrible. He made it, but it wasn't like. It wasn't terrible.
It was good for what it was.
For what it was supposed to be.
It was cool for what it was.
But he hasn't done enough for me to hate him. So I'm not gonna hate him. But I do think that if this movie, like, all right, week one, let's say it's a bad movie like we think it is, right? And let's say it get 120 week one. The word is gonna get out that it's a really bad. Like, what's the Flash's numbers? What's the Flash like that? The might
total
be,
box office?
Yes.
I'm not gonna like this number. I feel. Grossed a total of 271.4 million world.
If it's bad, that's what I think this will end up being like. Maybe 3. Maybe it can get to 3. But 300 million when you needed to make 731 million in order to see profit, that's a massive loss.
Yeah.
I say best 300 million. Unless we wrong about this entire movie, which I would be so happy and excited if we are. I really hope we wrong. I so badly just hope we drop the ball 100% with the Superman movie and it ends up being a cinematic masterpiece. And we got to come back on here and talk about how it's a cinematic masterpiece, because my thing is if this bombs bad, I really am concerned about the future fate of DC. And I still love DC. Even if somebody is helming it that I don't necessarily always enjoy what they do, I still love DC.
If they bomb it, I'm probably 70 to 80% positive Sony is paying for those rights. 70 to 80%
discount.
A super duper discount. If they bomb the hell out of that shit. If James Gunn knocks it out the park, I'm more at a 30 to 60%. Sure, and likely leaning towards 30. If Sony will even be able to have the capital to be able to pay for that shit, which I think they would.
No, I
but...
think they will hold on. If it's something where it's really good and they can get that 750. Warner Brothers not trying to sell right at this moment. It's too critical of a moment. It's like, okay, well, we could do a lot from here if this succeeds.
If that money talking, niggas would do anything.
Maybe true,
Right.
but I don't think anybody can buy it. That's my thing, bro. I just don't think realistically anybody can buy the DC Comics, Mortal Kombat, and Harry Potter. And I feel like we missing another major Warner Brothers series that will be a part of that. I feel like there's something else out there we just not thinking of that's like a part of that is like, all right, bro, and that.
Oh, Warner Brothers actually, I guess, was behind the Sinners film too. Final Destination. They have Harry Potter. They have the Suicide Squad, Pacific Rim, Clash of the Titans.
Hold on, timeout. That includes HBO Max. So Sony will have HBO Max. Well, there you go. That's 4. Cause HBO Max ain't no like that includes HBO originals, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so it would include all of the streaming and the movie side of
Come on,
WB.
bruh. That's Game of Thrones. That's all of your originals from bro. The HBO included in that. So you telling me somebody can buy HBO, Harry Potter, DC, Mortal Kombat?
Yep.
Somebody can, who paying that? Disney, but Disney can't because it's a monopoly. So who else really is about to cough up whatever that price tag is going to be? And how low can that price tag realistically get? Even on a discount, how low can it realistically get with the because the thing is the sale price is going to be off potential. And all three of those things, all three of those series are franchises alone.
Oh, here's something. Here's something
potential.
though. Warner Brothers Discovery, a significant portion of Warner Brothers Discovery, $37 billion in debt, is expected to remain with the separate global networks company after the split, making the acquisition of the streaming and studios company potentially more feasible for Sony. I didn't even know they had $37 billion in debt. But that's
So they want them to write it off?
a shit ton of debt. Maybe Sony is capable of maybe working with Global Networks company to be able to get some of that shit written off. Probably come to a more amicable means if they're not able. If they don't have the capital,
what did they do?
If they don't have the capital, and Superman is like their last fucking bet, and that shit doesn't do as well,
it's over.
They're going to
price tag
Sony.
Could come down.
They're going to Sony.
That price tag could come down. But I just don't think that. I still think that number would be high because they need so much money to clear that debt. I still think whatever they sell these things at, they like, nah, bro, we need as much money as we can possibly get because we $38 billion in debt.
We getting figures around 20 bill just for acquiring them niggas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that. They can't pay. Sony can't pay for that unless Sony Group, unless they all of the divisions get together and agree that this is a good idea. That means your TVs, that means your headphones, that means your PlayStation, that means your is Sony do Atmos, Dolby? Are they in control of Atmos, Dolby, the sound system?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Because if so, then that's your Atmos, Dolby. That's everybody having to come together to say we think that it'll be a good idea for us to make this purchase for specific. And the only one who it would impact is Sony Pictures out of all of those divisions.
Yeah,
that's the only one. It has a. I mean, to help the overhead is obviously very important, and it helps everyone. But the only one directly, Sony Pictures.
Sony Pictures has around $10 billion in net worth. Sony Group has 148.
Yeah. I'm saying the group could get it done, but it would involve somebody saying yes that isn't Sony Pictures from
Somebody
the
even higher up.
Sony group. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody even higher up. Which I mean, if Sony Pictures,
You got to think it's worth it. You gotta wonder if it's worth it. And
They
here's
have
the
to.
thing: if you somebody from a different division in Sony, right,
Mhm.
and your argument is y'all haven't made a good superhero movie,
That's what I was about to say.
Mhm.
so why am I going to let
Suspend.
y'all take out of my profit
Yeah, 20
for
bit.
y'all to acquire a IP that y'all not even guaranteed to be successful in?
Right.
That's why I just think I think it's in Disney's realm, but we know Disney can't. Outside of Disney, I don't think anybody else I don't think anybody else does. Universal, no. What Universal need a gaming size of portion for? Yeah, they could probably up their theme park, but what is the theme park about to do for your gaming?
Universal isn't even trying to let go of Hulk rights
Yeah.
outright. So if they're trying to do that, they scrounging for this shit.
And I don't think they, and that's the thing. Another great point. I don't think that Universal got the capital. So who genuinely outside of Disney has the capital and the enough reason
Mm-hmm.
to go for all of those IPs?
Sony is the only one to me.
And I don't think that you about to get Mr. Headphones or Mr. TV or Mr. Atmos Dolby to be like, yeah, take some of my profits. I actually been doing good. PlayStation been trying to do everything they can to hold on to all of the people that they got. Oh yeah, we gonna cut 10 billion from PlayStation's profitability. No, y'all not.
Hiroki
We still trying to keep
Totoki.
these people.
That Japanese man will look at them niggas and laugh them out of the fucking building. Amy
They had to come out
Pascal,
his
like,
pocket.
Amy Pascal, what if we get DC? Nigga going
Nah.
in Asian bombastic side eye.
He gonna be like,
Eastern
Nani? He gonna hit him with the Nani? Nani?
Yeah.
HBO? No, let me stop. Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Let's not go any further.
Ladies and gents, that is the stream for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to stop there. I just don't think it's possible though. That's
I'm
all.
trying to see if Hiroki Totoki has even talked about a possibility of acquiring WB streaming in studios. It doesn't look like he has, but who knows? Maybe.
No, he's smart, bro. He not. He
Them
like,
if it's one thing that I can trust Japanese people with, it's forms of media, especially long forms of media. If it's anybody who would be able to turn this ship around for DC, even though Amy Pascal has done a shit job and all of Sony has done a shit job with the properties that they have from Spider-Man, I still think they'll be able to find a way, or at least find a person who is more capable of helming the DC project.
It's a risk that I do think would pay off, but I don't think it's a risk a sensible CEO is going to take.
Yeah. Yep. That's very true. Very true. All right, so Blanket, let's end it off here. Oh, Ironheart does come out tomorrow, first 3 episodes. Blanket,
I don't like how they did Ironheart.
I think it might actually be good. I'm on the opposite side of,
but I don't that dropping 3 episodes, then the next week or whatever, dropping another 3. That's not fair to all of the people that was working behind that. That's just jive. I don't like that. That's the part I don't like.
What's that?
Probably really not good.
I think it actually might.
They would have gave her ass a movie.
Not too many people know Ironheart like that.
No, with that hate.
Yeah, we gotta see.
Iron Man.
Honestly, we gotta see what the
Kamala Khan get them big ass knuckles.
They seen a nigga,
but she wasn't in a movie by herself. She was in a collective movie.
Supporting actor.
My thing is
they can bring show, right?
So
yeah, she had a TV show,
but the thing is, if like you seen, Kamala Khan's show did rather well, so they added her to the Marvels. People liked her. Now, if Riri's show does well, they can bring her back for the next Black Panther and let her work with Shuri, or in some form or fashion have her do an not an Iron Man movie,
I'm not gonna lie,
but in a support role where she's playing Iron Man. or Ironheart.
If they went the Stark Industry route, I would not be mad.
Mhm.
Seeing a
I
live
would.
action
Everything
that would involve
tied back to
Ironheart.
this nigga Stark. Give
I
it to
mean-
Yeah.
Norman Osborn.
He was the main nigga though. He was the
Bro,
main
but
nigga that started
everything
it
tied
off.
back to the nigga, it's like, all right, y'all, like, this the Stark saga at this point.
I don't think
He
you
was that
understand
boy.
how much of a cult classic Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man was for most of the fans of Marvel.
Yeah,
in
he
the
was
first
that
I'm
boy.
saying it's good, but I'm like, if you, we talking about it, they gonna build other characters though. Like, if they gonna want to build other people up, they can really. I don't know if they got access to Norman Osborn or not, but I'm like, y'all can
Probably
really
not.
build him up at the MCU by having Riri working for that company or build up
Oh,
somebody else.
have her working for Happy.
No,
Something
Norman.
like that. Yeah,
Oh.
Norman. But I mean, shit, they gotta. I don't know. I guess they can go to Stark route.
They could, in the comics, one of her AIs was Tony at a point in time, and then it was her deceased friend, if I'm not mistaken. So they could possibly go that route where Tony plays the supporting role for her in a big film. But again, niggas wasn't as pissed when Rhodey was in the Warmonger fit, but niggas was damn sure pissed when they seen a black lady in an Iron Man suit.
Not
So
my
I don't-
Iron person.
Yeah, I don't think niggas is quite equipped to be able to deal with a black lady in an Iron Man suit right now
And
in
a
the big screen.
cinematic movie.
Yeah.
nah,
Nigga, they don't even like Valkyrie being black.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so wild. It's so wild. These are the same people where it's like
I don't
y'all
either.
Plot twist. You had me in the first half, nigga. This nigga here. All right, we gonna end off the stream. After everything that we've talked about, quickly, what movie do y'all think will have the bigger box office success overall? Will it be Fantastic Four? Not just opening weekend. Will it be Fantastic Four or Superman?
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
I'm leaning towards Fantastic Four. as
Fantastic Four might actually hit a Billy. It won't. It won't.
Because
But like
it might, because what comes out after that?
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's
in
not until
August,
next
like-
year.
Like,
Yeah,
what comes
we
out
won't
in
get a movie.
August?
Oh, I
won't
get
get
what
a
you're
movie until
saying.
next
He's
year.
saying in a
Oh.
period, what
I got
comes
you.
out.
What movie?
That's a good
Jurassic
point.
Park.
Them
Yeah.
releasing it at the end of July. No. You got
No,
to
the
listen to
Jurassic
what
Park
he
is
said.
before Spider-Man.
He
It's before
said
Superman.
after.
What comes out after Fantastic Four? Because people be like, "Oh, Fantastic Four, let me go see that joint. Let me go see that joint." It's like, yo,
That he got a point. They released it. See, and that's how you release it. You got to release it around the right time. You just gotta.
Ooh,
Then
Jujutsu
on top
Kaisen
of
coming out with a
that-
movie.
Who?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
What movie is JJK coming out with?
It's
A
the
hidden
is
inventory, premature death.
so
Oh,
so
yeah, we
it's
talked
between
about it.
it's
We
between
did.
Ghetto and
Yeah, we talked about it. That's the same one. Ain't
They
nobody
got-
gonna care about that.
They got on the week of a Fantastic Four, The Home, which is a horror movie I've never even fucking heard of. House of Eden, Folk Tales, AJ Goes to the Dog Park, The Short Game. The
Not
week after
stopping
that
anybody from seeing Fantastic
Together.
Four.
is a comedy horror. The week after that, July
Not
31st,
stopping anybody from seeing Fantastic
Nothing
Four.
But a Winner. It's look like a documentary with Jalen Hurts, Nick Saban. I'm guessing on Alabama. August 1st, The Naked Gun, which is with Liam Neeson. I'm surprised that nigga is still acting. Pamela Anderson, Paul Walter Hauser, and Kevin Durant. The Bad Guys 2, Experiment 77. None of these.
Naked Gun
films.
might cause a little hiccup, but that's the
what I was
only one
saying
I
with
could
Liam
see.
Neeson. Yeah.
That's the only one I could see possibly causing a hiccup.
Freaky
Outside
Friday,
of that-
Friday comes out August 8th. I don't know if that's gonna do anything.
It might. If it's like it's PG-13.
Freakier Friday.
Yeah,
Let me check.
because all the nostalgia people from the first one with what's her name, they gonna want to take their kids to go see it. Oh, the first one of this came out when I was a kid. So that could potentially end up eating a good share.
What's the goddamn thing? I'm guessing it's PG-13. I wouldn't.
Yeah, that might eat. That might eat. Just because you got to remember, people will take their kids to go see that as well. Naked Gun, no, because like that and Naked Gun, no, being the only two things that, yeah, it might hit a Billy. If it's a good movie, bro, because if it's a really good movie, people gonna want to go back. That's what happens. Is if it's really good, people want to go back and see it. Like with Dark Knight, people
All
wanted
right,
to go back and
hold
see
on,
it.
hold on. We're saying this right now, and we can do this real quick. I'm sorry. The Naked Gun 2. What is it? The Naked Gun.
Mm-hmm. It's like a reboot, right?
Hold on. I'm about to fucking send y'all this damn shit. And T, if you don't mind,
I
just bring it up
am
real
not
quick.
watching that daggone trailer.
I promise you.
That trailer is stupid.
That's why
Pull it
I
up.
want to play it. Oh yes, please pull it up real
Y'all
quick.
So much.
Naked Gun
See, I
trailer?
seen one picture, and as soon as Niall said that might give it his run for its money, I don't think so.
If it's bad, it's bad. But I don't know. That's what I'm saying is I don't even think Naked Gun is enough.
I seen that nigga in his undies in that trailer in one of the pictures.
Wow.
Yeah, but you gotta think about
I
it.
don't think it will be enough. We should see. Let's see.
Thanks.
Oh my god.
Once you kill a man for revenge, there's no going back. A voice in your head sang over and over. That was awesome.
Who are you?
You can turn it off. 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 Turn it off. Turn it off.
No.
Turn it off.
You wanted to watch this thing all the way through.
Police Squad has
Turn it
always been the elite of the elite.
Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr. Love you.
Hey, Dad. Boy, do I miss you.
And you, Frank, are the best of the best.
Need a bathroom. I need this one immediately.
There's a line, man.
Police business. Oh, I'm gonna ruin another suit.
Over here, Lieutenant. I think someone murdered
Yeah,
my
bro,
brother.
no.
Please.
And
take a
Seth
chair.
MacFarlane is the person behind it. This it's not your cup of
I'll
tea,
find them. This is what I
but you
do.
gotta understand this is a lot. This is in a lot of people's bag.
You mean man?
Not us,
Must have
maybe.
been quite the joke.
And on top of that,
They're going
Naked
to
Gun, the
shut down
old
Police
school
Squad
one
if
with
you do
O.J.
not
Simpson,
solve
it's
this
gonna have
case.
like that.
Do this
There's
by
people
the
who
book.
either watched this with their dad
Why?
or
Who's
parents
gonna
when they
arrest
were
me?
younger, or
Other cops?
Yes.
they still old enough to where
No.
they were a fan of the classic.
It seems Mr. Drebin might be more of a problem than we thought. I want you to keep an eye on him.
This oven is disgusting.
Rest assured, I won't stop until I've found justice.
What do you want, little one?
Your ass. Nobody messes
Nigga must
with
have
Police
been
Squad.
somebody.
We've upgraded your car with the most advanced crime-fighting
You
tech.
see defense?
Forward 30 feet.
He like, I can't. It's not your bag, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Though, it's a
But
lot
that's
of
the
people
bad part.
who will
Hold
go
up.
see
Hold up.
this.
But I am the main one that laughs at just about everything. That did not make me laugh at all. I don't know what it is.
Have you ever
It's
seen
just-
Naked Gun?
Yes,
Like
I've
the
watched
original
Naked Gun.
one?
The original one's hilarious. This one doesn't do it for me.
I feel like it's a
Who
lot of
played
people
the
that don't want
original
to find that out.
That was
Who was that? Martin. It was Martin.
Martin Sheen or no.
No.
Cause this shit looked
Who
like
was
it was
the
trying to be
dude?
some Austin Powers shit.
I look
That's
up right
kind of
now.
how Naked Gun is. That's
Yeah.
how Naked Gun is. It's like that.
From
No,
Files
shit.
from
I
Files
think
of
it's 'cause
Police
it's
Squad
Liam
from
Neeson.
1988.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen.
Oh yeah.
Seeing Liam Neeson do shit
I thought
like
it was that
kinda
other dude
turned me
from like
off.
Cheaper by the
Yeah.
Dozen.
OJ,
Hey.
yeah, that's why he went like, OJ Simpson played Detective Neuberg. That's why he didn't Oh, Daddy,
Yeah, that's why
no.
OJ was in it. Yeah, it was the big movie OJ was in.
Yeah.
Funny enough realization that I had though, I think Liam Neeson would be a great voice actor for Batman in a game.
He would. He would.
I think he'd be a
Go-
great voice
go
Yeah,
actor.
he
Yeah,
would.
yeah.
Yeah, he would.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
We gonna have to get rid of that dead nigga. I'm sorry, he's dead. He's not voicing the
Yeah,
nigga no
That's
more.
messed up. That's crazy. That's
I'm
wild.
sorry.
Jensen
But
Ackles
you
does
are
it though.
right.
Soldier Boy does it though.
For Batman?
Yeah, Soldier Boy has been voicing Batman.
Ooh, I
Is
thought
that in the
was
animated
real
giant?
Soulja
In the-
Boy.
oh, we're talking about in the games.
Oh, in the games, I think he might, because a lot of the animated movies he does Batman's voice.
Oh, really?
I thought you was talking
Soldier
about
Boy.
You. I thought he was talking
Yeah,
about him, but
Jensen
no,
Ackles.
he's talking
That's
about.
why
I can see
people
him.
was
I can
like,
see
oh,
Soldier.
He's talking
they
about.
thought he was gonna be the Batman.
Okay.
In
He said
Snyder's
Soldier
Justice
Boy?
League.
Yo,
That's
T,
what I was
I
like,
was
wait,
the
hold
same.
up.
Soldier Boy.
T, I was the same. I was in the
Not
same
crank
place
that.
for a second.
No, you should have just said, honestly, if he would have said Supernatural, then it would have made it easier. When you say Soldier Boy, I'm like, what?
I'm like, yo, he been
What?
playing Batman.
When did Batman come from Atlanta, nigga?
Young
Outlandish.
Drake?
That's the most outlandish Batman.
Where and Batman just Swiss cheese of niggas. For home
Superman.
invasion. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Nah. That's when Batman be telling his story. Like, you see, I jumped over the couch and I looked. It was two that came through, and I went pew pew and threw a batarang, and they went down. But then I dropped to the floor. I saw another one coming. That whole Soldier Boy story was like, come on, son.
As Batman, that'd be hilarious.
All right. I think we can end off there. After that abysmal trailer that we just watched,
I'm telling you, it's a lot of people that will go see that movie.
Of course it is.
It most definitely will. It was projected to do 23 mil. I don't think that's big enough to stop Fantastic Four.
Probably not. I still, like I said, I still don't think so. I just think these are like Naked Gun and the Freakier Friday. I think both of them could start too. Those are things that could start too. But if that's the only competition they had, that's why I agree with D. I said, you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe it could get to $1 billion if that's the only two things they have to compete with it. Way smarter strategy than what Superman is doing.
We shall see with time. It's about to be in the later end of June. It's only a matter of time before July hit. And
you know what movie I am looking forward to? It's a horror movie with Dave Franco. Together. I don't know if y'all got a chance to see that. The trailer for that joint, but check it out. We're not looking at it now, but check that joint out because that with Allison Brie.
All right, I'll lock in.
Does come out the week
I think
after.
I saw that.
Together.
Yeah.
It's called
I think
Together.
I saw the trailer for that.
That does come out the week after Fantastic
It's
Four,
interesting.
so
I'm curious.
if it's good, John, it might do something. But nonetheless, we appreciate y'all yet again. We kind of went on a tangent there at the end, but
yeah,
it was funny as shit. I ain't gonna
lie.
How we were reacting to that shit, it was most definitely funny. But we appreciate y'all yet again for stopping on by. Like T said earlier, this summer is packed with anime. So we are going to have again some more content, a lot more content for y'all. Look out for a Boruto review at some point in time in the near future. I know Dan is still releasing some stuff. Kaiju number 8, I believe, is now finished. I haven't read the recent chapter. I think it might.
No, it got one more.
It might have one more.
One more.
I think it's got one more.
One more.
Like T was saying, we got Jujutsu Kaisen. We have Dan coming back. We have My Hero Academia coming back. Fuck, what else? A whole lot. So be on the lookout. Notification, hit that noti bell, hit that like and subscribe button. Please let us know what y'all are most excited for out of all the releases, whether it be anime, whether it be comic books, anything of that nature. And please let us know who y'all think will win out of the box office scores. Fantastic Four or Superman, down in that comment section below. We appreciate y'all yet again. We'll be back here again next week with a special a special guest for episode 71. So be on the lookout for that. Y'all take it easy and have a good week. Peace.
These dreams on the road to riches, focus on the ticket, maximize my means. It's like now I'm just trying to float. There's a couple holes up in this boat. Dose my mind just so I can grow.